Ears of the internet, welcome to tonight's episode of DieRole. Yes, that is Greg Nut on the local
Hello,
radio
everyone.
station.
Yeet.
Singing Taze on Day's Chocolate Rain. Please don't sue us. Taze on Day.
Hey, that song is memorable for its repetitive structure, and the slight quirks of Zonday in the music video, such as him moving away from the microphone to breathe.
And his voice sounds suspiciously like Greg Nut, so like if you sing in Greg Nut's voice, we might get copyright strikes.
Wait,
I'll be sure to do it more in the end.
Will we get copyrighted if I play it?
Probably.
Oh shoot, okay.
Well, on Twitch
they didn't get copyrighted when I played John Parr's classic hit of I forget what it's called. Never mind. I'll sing it for you. I forget that too.
It's because
No.
it's the same reason that kids in a playground singing it don't get copyright stricken, because no one, well, the record label at least, is not listening. So let's be thankful for that.
Okay, we're just kids in a playground.
The record label wasn't listening to you when you were a kid singing on the playground?
I'm sorry, Max. What kind of charm? Oh wait, you went to an arts high school. I forgot. Excuse me, victorious boy.
We didn't have a playground.
Victorious boy.
Victorious boy.
What would you like to know, Weather Boy?
That's my closest point of reference for an art high school. Sorry, yes.
Sometimes I imagine Vincent to look like the one guy. I forgot his name.
Avon Jogia, Beck.
Oh,
yes.
Gosh.
That's
fair.
So funny. It's very
Sometimes I picture Greg Nut looking like Taze on Day, who sung Chocolate Rain.
Me too.
No way.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Veronica looked like that.
That's
Chocolate Rain. A baby born will die before the sin.
Okay, as you may have guessed, this is a D&D show. And that's not a my brother and me intro either. Okay. So, intrepid adventurers, sweet friends, beloved people.
What's up, you cool babies?
I just want to point out that this song had a release date of April 22nd, which is one day after my birthday, so I feel like it was basically made for me.
That's very beautiful.
I mean, given the lyrics highlight racism experienced by people of color, but I severely think that he had me in mind. Continue.
Maybe not.
Who wants to help us recount the events of last session?
I know how to count.
I died.
No, you didn't die.
I'm going to die.
Okay. How about, so one of our friends, Dear Vorgana, had to drop out before the end of last session. So how about we frame this as catching Cody, Veronica up to speed? What do we need to make sure everybody knows?
Wait, all of you guys made it to last session?
Damn. Barely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going through Discord.
Okay. So we started still in the middle of the fight with the purple worms, the triumvirate. Or actually, it was not necessarily the middle of the fight. We started the last session just after a triumvirate member had been polymorphed and then tamed by the undeniable charms of one overweight goblin man by the name of Greg Nut.
That's me.
Greg Nut.
All hail Greg Nut.
No.
Sharks. Okay, go ahead.
I'm
the new dungeon master.
The fight continued on, eventually ending with a decent amount of the civilians
dying.
Protected by you guys and the helpful NPCs that you helped to convince. After the fight was over, it was revealed that in the dark circle that had bloomed on the battlefield, a blue tiefling was found, discovered by Vincent and Pam. Pam also then watched Olron get swallowed, nearly devoured by Olron, which led her to the plan of Pam.
It was very complicated. I was trying to teleport, or I guess banish. I was trying to use banishment on just the worms, and I was hoping to leave the contents of their stomachs here and just banish the worms to a plane that they were I was just basically trying to break the world with an Oliver roll, and it kind of worked, but it also didn't work the way that I wanted it to, and that's life, right?
Yeah, you tried.
That's how rolls goes.
That's what people say.
That is what
After this having gone down, the final purple worm. There was a brief moment where all the worms were poofed away and then poofed back. In that time, when the worm poofed back to you, Pam, it was dead and there was bone in it that you weren't sure what it had come from, quite. The other worm just got lambasted by literally every other still living and able citizen of Portland, including all of you.
Cloud of daggers, baby.
Cloud of daggers, some good sword work, and then after that worm was dead, Vincent took it upon himself to once again try and use his Oliver roll combined with his sword to break the world and portal to wherever Olron had gotten to.
Yep.
And I think Morgana's part ended with him just hacking up a dead worm.
Mm-hmm.
He just kept hacking.
I went crazy.
I told him to stop, but he wouldn't stop. He just kept hacking away.
Correct.
Even after
I was like, finally, I get to kill a purple worm.
Finally, I'm a part of this.
Finally, I get to fight.
Finally, I'm not being pulled up by a magic god tree in a city.
Not realizing that I was outside the whole time.
Listen, isn't that just how? Aren't we all outside the whole time? Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
I've never thought about it like that. Or maybe we're all inside all the time.
Space is relative. Let's not get into it. Okay. So.
No, it's not. Space is not real.
What?
Nothing is real.
Wait, can
We're all
you
in a
explain
simulation.
yourself?
Okay, here's my explanation.
Okay.
Space, are you real? No response.
Fair enough.
I used to get this thought into my head that nothing was real, as in the concept of nothing didn't, or rather that nothing didn't exist because the concept of nothing was by in and of itself, rather a recognition of a lack of a thing, and therefore nothing didn't. Anyway.
No, that sounded really cool.
See,
I wanted to hear more.
It did not make any sense. It was 14-year-old me thinking I was deep. So, with all this understood and putting into context all of our adventure,
I was 14.
Is there anything else in particular you guys wanted to recall or?
I have a question for Greg Knight.
Yes.
How old are you?
Well, that's a loaded question. You see, how old do you think I am?
At
14?
least 3.
I am 8 years old.
You just said
I
when I
knew
was
it.
14.
Greg Nuts aged backwards. He's about to die.
Goblin.
In 8 years.
Goblins actually, that would be relatively. Goblins reach full like adulthood at around 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'm 8. When I said 14, I meant 14 months.
Oh, makes sense.
And I was gonna say that when I was 14 months, I was deep in a hole after someone threw me in it. It was my bean hole.
No.
I dug it too deep.
I've had that problem before.
And then the wolves came.
Vincent, do you recall
Yes.
anything about the place that you were in that you want to make sure everybody understands?
The ground was on fire, but not. So, like, my feet were burning, but there wasn't actually fire on the ground. And I don't think it was... Was there bodies, or was it just, like, skeletons or something just, like, piled everywhere? And it was, like, basically, like, a prison area, right?
You are in a prison cell with a very, very kind of withered away Olron, where the very air itself seems to contain so much temperature and pressure that it kind of weighs on you. And the same thing is true of the ground, but where it feels like so hot that it must be burning, but you don't see any fire and it doesn't have the texture of fire. It's just that the temperature, you've never experienced that height without an active fire.
Yes. And I have Olron. Like, I'm in contact with him, I'm pretty sure.
You are within, like, a 10 by... You're within a 10-foot space with him.
Okay.
What have I done?
You can do it.
You didn't do this part. He did this part.
What?
Because once Vincent portaled himself away in full view of several NPCs, several of those NPCs also viewed him and
Well, still.
fell
It's still all my
unconscious
fault in the end.
with blood coming out of their nose. See, there's the paladin. With blood coming out of their nose, including but not limited to some people from Excelsior, a couple of people from just
that's fine.
overall crowd, as well as a member of the city council who was part of the refresh. A
That's
bird person.
Probably
It's to save
evil.
Oleron, so it's worth.
Aside from the civilians, they're all probably evil, so.
Was Confidant there? Wait. Serious question.
Yes.
So I was not at the last game as well. So what was Ashok Boy up to? I know you guys were trying to destroy Gregnut's prize mammoth. What was
Right.
my main boy?
It was not an
I
active.
didn't do anything on purpose.
Because you made.
That was only through neglect.
Exactly. You guys were neglecting my mammoth, my woolly boy.
Ashoka.
Well,
Natalie was playing as Gregnut, so.
just say Willy Boy is no more.
Willy
No.
Boy is fine,
What's the
Gregnut.
function?
Oh, that's your Gregnut voice. I love it.
My Gregnut voice.
Okay. Ashoka was helping everybody in the fight. You were helping out Olron. You helped take down the final worm when it reappeared.
Yay!
Was I more helpful as not Nick playing Ashoka?
Yes.
I imagine I was.
I wouldn't say. I would say.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, just give it to me real, Danny. You hate me.
Never. I would say that help is relative.
If I was the dungeon master, I'd hate me.
No.
Then you're not the dungeon master, honey.
I
am,
despise
and I love
myself
you.
as the dungeon master. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make this session very hard for you. I just know it.
Oh no.
Okay. Gregnut does still have his woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth is like hiding out in the trees though because stuff in the town just got wild, and they're like, nope. Even as a
No.
mammoth, I'm
Yeah.
avoiding this.
I don't want him to get spooked.
So, with the full context of everything we've just said,
Can
We're
you say
going-
it again?
big fight, worm down, Vincent gone. People recognize reality breakage within the limitations of their reality.
Pam hates yourself.
Iris no say words. Olron, Vincent gone someplace else.
Thank much.
No.
But
What?
still the woolly mammoth is under our control.
Okay, that's all I care about.
Okay. With this, we cut back to the currently ruined and dilapidated kind of debris that you guys are all standing in of what used to be city center of Portwind. People are rushing around, tending now to the people who have collapsed with bloody noses. A woman in a dark dress from amongst the civilians near you guys starts to kind of walk around back, and there's little murmuring starting into the crowd. Does everybody want to make a perception check for me? And is there anything anyone would like to do straight off?
Well, I'm still in a hole, right, with Morgana?
You're like roughly down here.
In a hole.
You
We're
are
still in the hole.
like
That
here.
wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
Are we in the hole?
Vincent.
No.
I would
Everyone
like
in
to
the
send.
hole.
I'd like to send a message, or not message, but sending to Vincent.
To Vincent? Okay, let me check something for you.
It can go across planes, right? It can go anywhere.
That's what I have to check.
I'm in a hole.
That orange box is where you two are, Morgana and Pam.
I'm so excited about
We
being
figured
in
that
the
out. I know. I'm in a hole.
Oh wait, I'm dying.
Oh no.
I got 15 hit
Perception
points.
check. Oh, I'm dying.
What did you guys do to me?
Ashoka, you realize that you have been quite hit up in this
I'm
instance.
just coughing up blood.
Oh man.
This is
Pam-
healthy cup.
Terrible.
I'm just gonna lie down for a little bit.
Ashoka takes a seat
Draw my
on the
final
bus of
breath.
the ground.
Oh
I'll
no.
lay down and die.
Morgana and Pam, Pam, even in your stupor, you kind of like go blank in your brain and just observe the stuff around you enough to recognize that commotion outside has stopped. Vorgana, you realize with your perception that you've collected any and all of the, like, bodily... What is happening?
I'm dying. Sorry.
Okay. All the bodily refuse that you could ever want from this purple worm. And you can take chunks of it if you want, but you also realize that the commotion has not necessarily stopped upstairs, but the violence has stopped, and the commotion has changed form now into citizenry after an aftermath, like murmuring to or about someone or each other.
Can I before I turn to them, I turn to Poncho, and I'm just like I was in like a crazed rage, and then I am doing like the slow breath, like coming back to like, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I was really freaked out, to be honest. You wouldn't stop, no matter what I said.
I just wanted to fight a purple worm. I was so excited. We never got to fight a purple worm when we were playing with Oliver.
What? I guess you're right. But,
well, at least I didn't.
But, I mean, you weren't fighting it, Vorgana.
Yeah, I guess that's right. I was just kind of just overkilling it. Kind of like in that one episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes, we did.
Hot Pock.
Darius.
I never did.
All right, let's get back.
Darius, you can send a message across any distance and even to other planes of existence, but if the target is on a different plane than you, there is a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive. So roll 1d100. If you get 1 through 5, it doesn't get to him.
Alrighty.
Ooh.
And the message is limited to 25 words or less.
While he's doing that, can I make a nature check to see if I can eat raw worm?
I'll say nature or medicine, yeah.
Did somebody say raw?
Pam and Vorgana come back up and join the group. You guys see as you come out, some people are starting to cast looks over to kind of a spot in drawing. In this group over here where Vincent had been and is now gone, and people keep glancing over there, and then some glance back at you because they recognize the group affiliation. You could eat purple worm flesh, but you'd probably need to cook it, and it might be toxic otherwise because of the natural acidity and, like, toxicness within its flesh.
I think Danny just called you a has-been, Max.
Ooh.
Oh!
What?
Jeez.
I don't even...
Where you said, this is where Vincent had been, and I just took that as calling him a has-been.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to start fight.
Hey.
Just your attitude every week. Okay.
Pokemon? More like... Jokemon.
I see you guys using humor to deal with trauma, and I understand and respect you. Darius, you can send the message. It has to be 25 words or less.
Oh, God.
Where'd you go? See Olron? Grab him. Come back.
You sent that to Vincent?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That is correct.
Okay, so Vincent,
Yes.
in the midst of all this stuff, you hear the familiar. It's okay.
Oh my god!
It's familiar.
What? Huh? I was talking to the... Yeah, sorry. Miguel's also talking to me.
It's okay. You hear that familiar voice in the back of your head from Darius say, "Where are you?"
Sorry.
No. Where'd you go? See Olron? Grab him. Come back.
And you can... I would like, real quick, Vincent, I would like for you to roll a luck roll for me. Above a 10, the Feeble Mind spell hasn't
Oh no.
come back to play.
Hey.
Okay, what?
Cool.
Okay, so that means you are able to respond. Your message is also limited to 25 words or less.
I say, I found Oleron. I have no clue how to get back. Please help.
Oh.
Okay. within the word limit. Darius, that's the message you hear back inside your head.
Can we meet up with Darius?
Yes, you guys have all collected back.
Oh, I also
Okay.
mentioned that I'm not in this world, or that I think I'm in a different plane of existence.
Other
No.
plane. Yeah. Okay. You do so.
Cool.
I tell all my friends, all my compatriots.
I'm like,
Okay,
how the heck are we gonna get him out?
okay, guys. Vincent has Oleron, but he doesn't know how to get back.
What do you have any suggestions? Is there any like way we can zip over to that plane of existence, or no? Is that not how it works? Would we have to know the plane of existence?
Well, Pam sent him there. Maybe she should send us there.
I mean, I don't know what I did. I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, well, coughing up blood. You did.
Oh my god.
Can I actually heal him a little bit?
No,
Yeah,
okay.
you can use your lay on
can do
hands
it
or healing
myself.
spell.
No, don't heal
Don't touch
him,
me. I can
no.
do it myself.
I grab him and use lay on hands.
I just lost another hit point doing that.
Okay, how many hit points do you give him?
What's your maximum?
46.
And you have 15.
Yeah. Help me, I'm poor.
How much does everybody else have, actually?
They're fine.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. Wait, let me check.
Everyone check.
Vorgana was in the dynamic non-combat part of the fight.
I don't know why, but it says my current hit points are. Oh wait, that's why I'm reading Ashoka's again. Why does this keep happening to me?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm 75 points. I'm good.
Okay,
Oh
what
my
about
god.
you,
How do you
Darius?
have 75 hit points and I'm at 46?
How
My
much,
max is
happening?
101.
Darius?
Hey,
What?
I'm at 46 also, but it says my maximum hit points is 41, so I'm lost.
Are you
That's
looking
not
at
right.
Ashoka's sheets?
Are you dead?
Yeah, I'm looking at my sheet.
He's more than he's the
46.
opposite of dead. He's never felt this great in his life.
I'll restore you, Ashoka. Go ahead and give yourself full.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
100.
No.
Speed 1000. Armor class 55. Initiative -1.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So what? Any ideas how we get Vincent and Oleron back? Iris, do you have any ideas?
You're the wizard.
Uh,
Can't you like teleport? If you can send your voice places, can't you send your body places?
Well,
Maybe.
Darius, you glance over at Iris and she is just like 1,000 yards staring ahead, and when you call her name she kind of like blinks and looks
no.
at you, and it's like she's looking at still the 1,000-yard stare, but it's like into your soul, and she's just staring at you.
all right. Well, so she's out of commission. Can I use my locate person spell? Or was that? Did I already use that today? I can't remember.
Oh.
Who would you have used it on?
I can't remember. Maybe I haven't used it yet.
I don't think you have.
Okay.
I think typically that's the thing that you would have marked off.
Yeah.
Can I only do level 7 spells up to 11?
Do you have a level 7 spell slot?
I should
wish I had
probably look. Well, I need a level 9 spell. I don't think I can.
I
That's
don't
what
think
I'm-
you
I
have a
guess I'm
level
trying
9
to
spell.
Okay. Can I use locate? Well, did I use it?
Oh yeah, I have one
Yeah,
level
yeah.
7.
I
Okay.
don't think you did. No.
Okay. I'm gonna use locate person for Vincent.
Okay, is this the modified version of locate person, or did we do that on locate object?
It's both. It's object or person.
Okay.
You guys, I can plane shift dust.
What?
If that doesn't work, I can plane shift dust.
Okay.
Level 7.
So the locate creature /person/object do you have the modified version of the spell written down? Because this one it says it has to be within 1,000 feet of you.
I did. I used an Oliver roll to make it be anywhere, and I could just use it once a day.
Once a day.
Yeah.
Does that apply to different planes?
It said anywhere.
That it did.
Anywhere, anytime. Be there, be there, be there.
Here's the thing. The way that the planar verse works in D&D, you get like the faintest blip, but you have no context for where that plane exists in relative to this other plane. So
it was left vague for a reason. So it's up to the DM's discretion.
So you do get the blip. I'll say roll like a either history or intelligence check to see if you can at all contextualize relative to the planar verse of the universal system that you're in, where that plane could or might be.
History or what?
Or intelligence.
Roll.
If you can figure that out, that would be really helpful. Because then if we know, like, I can do a plane shift.
Can someone give me advantage somehow?
Can I give?
Your cartographer who knows where things are is kind of in a difference. If someone gets like a 15 on a history check, I'll let them give you advantage. Vincent.
Oh my goodness. History check, here we go.
Vincent, I see you.
By high-fiving. Oh my god. What was it, history?
Talk. Yeah, okay, so Pam, you can roll with
Boom.
advantage.
Oh!
Whoa! I love
double the history, double the fun.
So I get double advantage.
Darius also rolled a 20.
Okay, I'll do history too.
Okay. I will say, you don't quite know where it is. You feel like you're close to it, but you will have to sit down with Vorgana and Ashoka, who are evidently more familiar with the Planiverse, which makes sense because one's a cleric and one's a monk. You'd have to sit down with them at a table and like look at a map of the Planiverse, but if you do that, like have time to do that, you will be able to figure it out.
To the library!
The city is destroyed around you and in rubble. It's like
the library.
To the library.
To the library.
You glance around to where the scriptatorium, where the library was before, and it's just like in on itself, and the windows are hanging open, and the like bricks, and it's on fire from the inside.
The map store. To the map store.
We just think for a second. We're like, to another library.
You like glance across the other side of the square. The bestiary is all busted up. Like the cages are for sure are like empty, and there's like definitely creatures roaming around this city now.
Ooh.
On the flying carpet, you guys. Huddle upstairs in the sky.
Does anybody have a map?
I'm sorry. What? There's so you see. Ramu points to the carnage all around you and the people looking at you weird, and not everyone is staring at you guys. You could probably slip away if you really wanted to, but the people who you know that are on your team are definitely looking at you like, you're just bailing?
Okay, Ramu.
Yes, Darius.
Hey.
What are you doing? What?
We're trying to reach Vincent and Olron. They're on a different plane. They need help getting back.
How did that happen? There was a strange light over by.
Yeah, where Vincent cut a hole in the ceiling and went to someplace else.
Telling him. I'm like,
make a. I'm gonna make a wisdom saving throw for Ramu.
Didn't you see what happened to everybody else? Not that I was there when that happened, but didn't you see it? Can I make a perception check to see if I notice like people?
Are you asking me? Or are you asking Ramu? Or who are you asking?
He needs character voice to distinguish Pam between. What are you trying to perceive, hun?
I want to see if I recognize the people with their bloody noses and stuff.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check to see if.
Yeah. Oh, 21 counts.
One of the people was definitely one of the people is clothed in blue, which you know for on this day at least is like the marker of the last person you saw in that kind of official blue wear was Celine, the Inquisitor, who is kind and helpful to you guys. You see a like bird man in that same blue, fully like knocked out with other people around him in red and blue, trying to help him back up, but he's just out. A couple people in the Excelsior group, including, well, you don't know who that one is. A like younger guy, and then like one older member, the Excelsior man with the red hair and the like dark furs and all that kind of stuff, is trying to help, looking a little bit frantic.
As Veronica's trying to do a backflip.
Don't mention that.
Pam, you also notice this woman doesn't have like a bloody nose, but does look confused. It's a woman with in like a dark gown who looks a little bit older, has kind of darker hair, and she's just kind of moving idly about through the group of civilians over here, occasionally like coming through with a couple of children, and then she seems like she's trying to get closer to you guys.
Okay. All right, so I can kind of like recognize that whatever Vincent did like has affected people, right?
The same way that it affected Kasha before.
I kind of just like slap Darius' shoulder with the tips of my fingers and just like, "What are you doing?"
You actually see Iris does this as well. Even in her stupor, she like looks at Darius, but then like as a delayed reaction, she reaches forward and just like bats at his arm. Like, no.
Maybe not as hard as me, but yeah.
Correct.
Don't say anything.
What are you talking about? What are you not?
Remu, just shut up. Just shut up, Remu.
Yeah, Remu, shut up.
Well, I know
don't talk to my boy like that.
I know it's been a difficult day, but there's no need to be. Listen, we need to get everything sorted out here.
I want to tell somebody about things I shouldn't tell them, and I just run away to go find somebody.
No!
I'm so healthy again.
Remu, help us get Vincent back.
I mean, Remu's right. What are we gonna do about the city?
Where did he go? Was he injured in the fight?
Yeah. He was so injured. He left.
Where did he go?
Darius?
Darius, what have you done with my student? Where is he?
He dead.
Morgan, I don't find your morbid humor amusing. I know you're a cleric, so it's kind of less meaningful for you.
No, I mean, he might be really dead. We tried to find him in the
Darius?
He was gone.
Jesus.
Remu, I'm not going to tell you how it happened, but I'm just going to tell you he's not on this plane anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to sugarcoat it for you.
I'm not going to tell you how it happened, but that's what... We need to find him.
Banished to another plane, and he found our buddy Ulron there. We need help in getting him back.
Yeah. What they said.
I understand this situation is dire, and I never want to leave Vincent in harm's way, but there's also a situation here that must be dealt with. Let me... Oh, goodness me.
That can wait a beat or two. Let's get back.
Yeah,
let's get our people back.
What about, and hear me out, Darius, what if we split up?
Oh, man.
While you say that, I literally just go to Ramul. I'm like, Ramul, I know you have other things you got to do, but we need to save our friend right now. You can get started on that other stuff, and we'll help you when we get back. But we need to save our friend.
Darius, why don't you go help Ramu, and then I can go and try to find Vincent with these two jokers. And I point my thumb to Morgana. And Ashoka.
I'm not two jokers. I'm one joker.
And Ashoka. I have two thumbs.
Oh, I thought Ashoka ran away.
I think he's trying to, but he's going in a circle.
Oh, okay. I see him now. Okay. There he goes.
A different plane.
Misstance.
Oh.
Ashoka, do you turn to mist out of instinct like a squid inking?
Yes.
Okay. Use 4 of your key points. Do you have 4 key points left?
Wait, do I get restored key points with my restored health?
No.
No.
You have
Okay,
to
well
take-
then now I have 4 key points left. I had 8.
Come
Okay.
on.
Ashoka in the mist. Ramu ignores this and looks at you, Vorgana, and goes,
You say he's on another plane. Do you have access to plane shift?
I do. I can use it. It's my strongest spell.
Do you have access to multiple uses of plane shift?
That I don't. I can only use it once. But if I take a long rest, hear me out. I think I can do another one.
So you go there into the hellscape and sleep for 8 hours, and then
Okay. I am
in the
innocent.
hellscape.
Please stop
Great
calling it a
idea.
hellscape.
Okay.
It's okay. No comment.
I am of a similar predicament. I can plane shift only once per day. If you and I were to go together to retrieve Vincent, we could come back.
Sure.
I don't know which is worse to put off until later, but I must say that I don't like leaving him there either.
But would you be able to take back Vincent and Olron? How many people can you shift at once?
Up to 8 willing creatures. So
Really?
Yes. The
That's
question is,
incredible.
yes, it's a very high level spell. It's why even I can only do it once.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot in good conscience leave either of these situations unattended fully. So if I do go to assist whomever of you with Vincent, I have to know that things here will be looked after. Darius, friends, I know that...
You have my word.
Do you know what word you're giving?
Yes, I do. While you plane shift over there and with Vorgana, get Vincent and Olron and plane shift back. While you're out doing that, we're going to be trying to take care of the people here.
All of the people, or just the ones who seem nice right now? Because honestly, most did not quite seem... you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Savable or save-worthy?
It's a difficult call to make. Be discerning, my friend.
Aye.
Alright. Who amongst you is going to go with me to save my fool of a student?
Well, I'll go so far as to help you find him, but I should stay with Darius and help him out. But I'll help you find him at least.
Very good. Very loyal friend that you are, Pam and Vorgana, as you are the other half of my coin.
I give it a nice little chuckle. Not sarcastic. That made it sound like it was sarcastic, but it's a very hearty, kind chuckle.
Chuckles. Yeah.
Okay.
They call me Chuckles at school.
Okay.
They did not. They really didn't.
So.
I don't think I ever saw you laugh, Veronica. Not once.
I mean, we don't have to talk about that one. This guy is literally standing here and he
Veronica's just a nickname. It's just a nickname. It kind of sounds like
Alright, what do we need to find where Vincent
I'm going
is?
to.
Ashoka, is that you?
Yes.
Oh god. Do not let Ashoka go.
Why does he sound different?
He sounds
Ashoka.
very breathy.
Yes.
Ashoka, I need you here. I need
He
your
sounds hot.
assistance.
No, I'm just kidding.
You really need me here?
Yes, sir, I do.
That's
To
your
tell
brother
someone
you're talking
else
about?
about the secrets I shouldn't tell them?
What is this all
Wait,
going
what
on
secrets?
about?
I've already told 2 people about the reality of their world.
Stop.
They
What two
they
people?
didn't take it well. Strangers.
Give
Don't
me
worry, you don't
vague
know them,
general
so it won't get awkward.
descriptions. Give me
Was
vague.
that?
Give me vague general descriptions of the strangers that you whispered the realities of their
No.
world.
One of them was a man dog body of a man,
furbolg?
head of a dog.
Furbolg.
The
Okay.
dog.
Furbolg.
Then this other one was this lady who was at first startled about the disembodied voice. That was me. But then she kind of forgot about that once I kind of beheld the truth of her existence, and she kind of had a seizure, and I think she's still having a seizure.
Okay.
But so I heard that I was needed, so I flew over my mist form.
Okay. Are you out of your mist form now in order to be talking to them?
Yes.
Okay. You've returned.
Can I have my key points back?
No. That's not how that works. Okay.
How do I get my key points back?
You sleep. Literally, you guys have to sleep sometimes. That's
okay.
the only
Can I cast sleep spell?
No. Okay.
Who wants to hit me?
You can just sleep. You don't have to use a spell for it.
Don't encourage him to sleep right now.
There we go.
Okay.
It's better than the alternative, telling people what's going on or running.
You're not here right
somewhere.
now.
Okay, well, I'm the only. Okay, fine. Let him do whatever you think is best.
I can hear you, Max. Don't worry.
Thank you, Gregnut.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're the only one who understands me.
Thanks,
What
man.
do we need in order to find where Vincent is?
I think just a map.
A map of what? The country, the world, the plains, what?
The plains, I guess. I feel like if I could just have a bunch of different maps, I could zero in at some point with Morgana's help.
That's fine.
Alright.
I can help.
I do believe something like that might have existed in the city council chambers,
And he glances back over his shoulders and sees that there's the new giant spine of the wilds, what have you, growing through the top, and he goes,
Ew.
Well,
What about that? What about Seamus? Would Seamus have something? I feel like he's kind of a nerd. Like he might carry maps on him or something.
Good grief, I haven't seen Seamus all day.
Yeah, the last time we saw him, he
no.
was cave, I think. So he might be not.
That is the other thing I had not considered, that we may not be allowed to leave without...
Leave that to us.
Are you sure
You guys-
about that?
Yes, we'll take care of it.
All right.
We've had dealings with these people before, so.
all right. In that case, Ramu kind of turns towards the direction back towards where the Guild of Guiding Light building once stood and kind of starts to generally walk. I want to check in with you guys. Order of operations wise, how do you want to do these scenes? Do you want to focus on getting Vincent back first and then do the talks in the city council square, or because they would be happening kind of concurrently? So I wanted to ask what you guys wanted to focus on.
I want them to get Vincent back first. Vincent and Oleron back first.
Okay.
Okay.
And while they're gone, then we can talk to the city people.
Okay. I will ask, Vincent, is there anything that you're trying to talk to Olron about while you're there with him, or are you just waiting after you get the message from Darius?
I would have been grabbing Oleron and trying to find a way out.
Oh.
Okay. Make a strength check and just get a 10 because Olron is weak currently.
If these are happening, well, can I be in both scenes at once?
How would you propose that?
Cause like, how do I explain?
If you're just walking with them to the place and looking at the maps and then coming back to see Darius, if you can stall them from talking about real stuff until they're ready to talk, until Pam gets back, you can try to do that. And if you make that plan known to the NPCs around you, someone may come to. Darius, do you want to wait for Pam to get back before you talk to everyone seriously about the conditions of the city and things?
You can start without me, but I will be there as soon as I can.
That's fine. I have no problem talking to the city people.
Okay. Are you going to
They
try
all
to
know me.
Are you going to try to stall at all?
I don't know why I would have to stall. I'm going to be talking about other stuff.
Okay.
I'll be taking them somewhere else and looking down the street saying, we got to fix this, we got to fix that.
Okay. All right. So let's focus on a little bit of Vincent. I want you to. What are the ways that you're trying to get out of this cell? It's this like oppressive heat. You have to make like a con save every 10 or so minutes that you're there.
It's not. So it's a locked cell.
It's a locked cell. You don't even see where the lock would be, so you imagine it's on part of the wall to the outside of the cell. The cell isn't made up of bars. It's made up of like almost chicken wire, but it looks like it's made out of like rebar, and it's almost kind of like steaming as it's sitting there.
I try to see if I can feel the lock on that. Because I have lockpicks.
True. So the squares that make up the bars are. I need you to make a dexterity check to to fit your hand through it, through your wrist. It's like trying to clean out a really skinny bottle. Unfortunately, you're not quite able to get your whole hand through there just because you got proper sword wielding hands and it's little.
Okay, I'm going to use my crowbar to try to open part of it up a little bit, then so I can get my hand.
Okay. I'll call it a DC. It would be kind of easier because if the metal is softened because it's melting, but then it would be magically reinforced because they would know that it would melt. Because make a strength check, DC 20.
Great.
Hey,
let's
okay.
go.
Now you can fit your hand through somewhat. It's enough to let you make some kind of a check with your lockpick, or to at least feel around.
Okay. Should I roll with my thieves' tools?
I'll say make a perception check first to see if you can find the lock with your hand. Okay. That'll be like a 15. Okay. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. You get, I'll say 5 rolls equals the 10 minutes, and then after that you have to make the con save. Okay. So the more that you try to do, the harder it is to focus on just staying well in this area. 5 rolls equals 10 minutes. Mechanics, everybody. Okay. So you can just try to feel around again, or you can give some other plan a shot. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I will try to look around for it again.
Okay, make a perception check. Get a 15. Nope. Please make a Constitution saving throw for me. Okay, good. The heat is starting to get to you, but you don't take any actual physical damage yet. But you get the feeling that the longer you stay in here, the harder it will get to resist, and you feel like it'll quickly drain your strength and such. And the way that you're looking at how withered Oleron is, it'll like hasten negative effects that would have already been there, such as a curse that may have been put off slightly. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your first group of activities. This will be concurrently while the other guys are looking for a map. Pam, Vorgana, and Ashoka, please make someone make an investigation check, someone make a perception check, someone make an intelligence check. Ramu can assist one of you on one of these.
Oh.
So what are the 3?
Investigation, perception, intelligence. Ramu can give advantage to one person on one of them.
Perception. Okay, it looks like I'm doing. Jeez, come on. Even with my.
Do you want to get advantage on that?
Do I get advantage?
Ramu can only give advantage to one person, so let's roll all 3, see who gets the lowest, and cheat the system that I created. But go ahead and do that.
Looks like I got the.
I'm good with perception.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and re-roll your investigation.
Okay, come on.
And then Darius gets intelligence.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Sometimes I hate this game.
Darius is really good at investigation, so he should have investigated.
It's okay. Darius is in another scene. You guys are all working together, so. Yeah, this is what I'm talking.
Who's the third one?
Ashoka?
Oh! Is Ashoka helping us?
He said he was going with you guys.
Oh, I thought he was staying with Darius. Okay, sorry.
I thought I was sent Darius
No.
too, but here
Yeah,
I am.
I asked for Shoka to stay with me because I need his help.
Okay,
That's what
I'm sorry, I forgot the events, but that's okay anyways because Vorgana rolled with the advantage, and Pam is good. So, okay. So Pam, you see what looks like it will be the building that's still standing that'll may have the information that you guys need. Let me switch to a different map for y'all. Where's my overall port wind? Looks less destroyed, but it still is. Okay. So, Pam, you're able to see as you're making your way back towards where the Guild of Guiding Light would have been, a smaller guild building that looks almost less like a guild, more like just a composite archive spot. Basically, it looks like the kind of place that you would go to, like, almost what you would consider a post office in modern times. It looks like where documents are archived or where people go to get parchment in order to create flyers, like what you see people use for jobs and stuff. And you find that, and you guys go in there and are starting to investigate and look around for the map, but are having a hard time with it because it's already been kind of pulled through. You're not sure if it was like people who had gone through this, or when people were running away, they were trying to collect their stuff. But it's going to take you another round to like look through everything in here. So now that everyone is in here, if you would like to, you can try to investigate again, or just look around the shop, see what other useful things might be here.
I'll try to investigate.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Pam is laser focused on this because she feels so guilty about what happened.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of digging around, looking through all these kind of unimportant papers, looking like, oh, these are like the city documents, the things that people are supposed to see, and these are the general parchment requirements for issuing a blah, 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 blah. And then you dig down and then pull out the, like, the main desk and the back counter of the place. The main desk at the bottom, what looked like the actual paper lining of the desk, like it isn't even meant to really be used, but it's just meant to look cool and provide general information. The actual lining of it appears to be a planerscape map of the planes in this world. So you kind of make a DC 5 strength check to rip it up off of the thing.
Watch me fail it.
It's fine.
Can Ramu help me, please?
Ramu will come behind you. He'll use his claws to get in there and kind of pull up like the edges, so when you pull, it's not like yanking something that hasn't been loosened. So roll with advantage. Go again.
Oh my god!
Nice.
This time, with no two visible tears, you pull it up and out and kind of dramatically brush everything else off of the desk and lay the map out. You, Ramu, and Vorgana look over it.
Way to go, Nancy. Rip that up.
And then after you pull it up and lay it out over the desk, I want you to make either an intelligence or history check with advantage, since Ramu is there and Vorgana is there, to locate the spot that you found earlier.
Okay. Ooh!
Okay.
Oh. Thank you, advantage.
Okay. So, looking at this planar verse map,
I'm coming for you, Vincent.
which I'm going to put in the Discord chat right now. Sorry, stream, but I don't know how to copy paste something.
Whoa.
Ooh. Interesting.
You feel the ping.
Oh,
you
no.
guys are currently in the material plane. You feel the ping all the way, like, to the left and down, and it sits and lands somewhere on the edge of the 9 hells.
No! Literally, I was like, anyone but that. Oh, gosh. Okay, so, guys, I need a map to the 9 hells.
What do you
Quickly.
mean? This is the map.
Quickly. Wait, what?
He's somewhere in the 9 hells.
Isn't there a map for the 9 hells?
I imagine there is. I don't know why it would be here in Portland. Who in Portland would want to go to the 9 hells? Aside from Vincent, obviously, for some reason.
I don't think it was his choice. Let me make it clear. It was not his choice that he's there. He's trying to save our friend. Okay? Thank you. All right, so...
Okay.
Don't give me attitude right now. I'm already full of stress.
I can see that. Okay.
There has to be a map for it. If I could just zero in on where he is, that would be immensely helpful instead of us wandering the 9 hells. There's 9 of them.
I mean, it's more so the layers of it than anything else.
Okay, that doesn't make it any better. I don't want to be wandering around 9 layers of hell.
Well, you're not going to be. Yes, we will be doing that. You will not be doing that.
Let's just see if I can get it a little bit more specific. Let's see if there's anything here about the 9 hells.
All right.
Wait.
Huh?
I mean, would Ashoka know anything about the 9 hells?
I cannot imagine for any good reason that he would, but why do you think
Okay,
he may?
wow.
I mean, he reads a lot. He reads a lot of weird stuff, and he always seems to have an answer for everything. But, I don't know.
Usually trying to miss.
Make an insight check about Ramu, Pam.
Ooh, I can do that.
I said, read your map. It says the 9 hells on it right there.
What? I know, but I want a map of the 9 hells.
She doesn't want to know where Knott's Berry Farm is. She wants to know what's at Knott's Berry Farm.
Yes. And then which ride Vincent's on.
Which ride that got stuck while midair.
Yep.
That happened. Did Allie tell you?
Yes, she did. It was the worst one possible.
Mm-hmm.
I will never go on that ride. Anyway.
There, I got the map on screen. How's that?
Great. So yes, I know that this is okay. Sure, this is the 9 hells, but where is it? What's in it? Where is Vincent in it?
That's your boop that you got of where Vincent was.
We can go deeper. I can feel it.
Where do you propose that we find this information? I mean,
wait. So what did my insight tell me?
What did you roll for? I'm sorry, I was loading the picture and I didn't see what you rolled for insight. 28. Okay.
28.
Listen, the 9 hells is a very dangerous place, and I understand your apprehension about us going in there unarmed, but going in there knowing exactly where he is will not necessarily make things easier for us, or rather, you looking further into the intricacies of the 9 hells may not be beneficial.
How?
You feel like he's not telling you everything. That's what your 28 gives you. Like he has.
So, can that 28 tell me what he's not telling me?
He's doing the like teacher or parent thing where he's like,
this is an irresponsible thing for this person to know, so I'm not.
He's Dumbledoring it right now.
Don't Dumbledore me. You wouldn't know what that means. Don't hold my hand. Just tell me what the big deal is. What's so bad about the 9 hells?
You did hear yourself just say that sentence, right?
Listen. You don't know this about me. You don't know this about me. I serve 2 very distinct things. So hell doesn't sound that bad to me.
See, I figured that would... Pam.
What? Say it. I'm just trying to be real with you. You can be real with me. I'm being real with you.
I feel like you're being very stressed out and projecting, if I'm honest.
No, not at all. I just want you guys to know exactly where to go in one of the 9 hells instead of going through all of the 9 hells.
I understand this. You knowing more about what I know about the 9 hells does not assist in this. Let's look for a travel guide of the 9 hells in case someone is trying to plan a vacation. That's as much information as we're going to find in this place. If you got the dot that said he was in another plane of existence, I'm not surprised that it didn't also come with his area code and dial-in number. I'm just saying.
Does Ramu know what either of those things are?
He's thinking of He's relating it in his head to the teleportation circles that wizards use. Which is roughly the same system, but with pictures instead of numbers. And I mean, numbers are just pictures. Anyway.
And he's a member, and he's a founding member of the Guiding Light.
The Guild of Guiding Light, yes. So he does understand some of the basics of.
He knows all the science about light and whether it's the red wavelength or the blue wavelength or the yellow wavelength.
Darius has explained it to me many times over many a cup of ale. Believe me, I know. So.
Okay. So help me try to find a trap. If we can't find it, we can't find it. But let's at least try.
All right.
I know that I can zero in on this. Okay.
All right. Let's look. I suppose.
Go ahead and make. This won't be another investigation check because you investigated really well before and have kind of turned the place over. I want this to just be a straight up and down luck roll as to whether such a thing exists.
Okay.
Roll. Actually. Roll above a 13 on a straight up and down d20.
Oh, snap.
I'm so scared. I hate this. Okay. As I accidentally changed the 2 with a 3. I'm just kidding. Woo! Come on!
Oh
okay,
my god.
Chaos roll.
Really?
Should I?
It's up to you. I
It's your
can
choice.
read the mechanics to you if you want.
I just ventured into the 9 hells with no idea where to go. I'm sure it's a huge plane. It seems like a very bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to do your chaos roll?
Yes.
Okay.
D6?
Yes, roll 1d6 for me, please. Your roll becomes a critical success.
Nice.
Oh, yes! Okay.
Okay, so you start to look around this room.
Yes.
And in investigating, you come across what looks like something dropped or quickly discarded near the exit of the room.
So, real quick, can it be a map for all the planes? I'm just putting it out there. It was a critical success.
I was gonna give you here. How about this, Miss Critical Success? Since this game is meta and letting us break things, and I'm listening more to what you guys want, would you rather have more of the technical information about the planes, or have the story connection that I was going to give you for that critical success?
Whatever will help me find Vincent better.
Whatever will help you find Vincent better.
Either one sounds. I mean, I obviously lean more towards the story part of it, but whatever will help me find Vincent.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that would be the. What you find discarded near the door is not, as I was thinking, a lost journal, but rather a incomplete, very dense book that is a volumization that is very dry and technical, but it just lists. It's as though someone was doing a lot of market research and being like, these are all the good places to go on vacation, and these are all the bad ones. And it details very specifically why each of the 9 levels of the 9 hells is a bad place to go on vacation.
I love it. Oh, that's great.
Looking at these maps and knowing the context which you are looking in, how do I draw a... I always forget. Hold Alt for a circle. Perfect. I wanted that to be red. Gosh, mother dang it. Phooey. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. On this little map, looking at it to contextualize what you had seen before for Vincent, you feel his blip pop up here.
Interesting.
So looking at that in relation to relative positioning, understanding that this is a 2D image of what would be a 3D globe that shifts around. The XY axis is this dot over here. on the main map, and then the layers map gives you the z-axis, which is about as good of a location you're gonna get.
Okay.
Am
So
I on the 7th level or the 3rd level?
The
I was
third.
wondering the same thing.
The 3rd.
Okay. All right. So I'm just flipping through this frantically, and then I just stop on this image. So, do I know, like, would that be like the far right, far left? Can I tell that much?
It's on the far right edge of the 9 hells. It's on a layer of 9 hells that is called Minaros.
This one, Ramu. I just point to it. This, right there. Are you looking at it? That's where he is. I'm
Yes,
telling
looking at it. Okay, great.
you. Well, go.
All right, goodness. All right, you get back to city center and help Darius.
Okay. Do you need this book, or should I keep it?
I don't. It's really rather dense. I don't know if it's sensible to carry around.
I'm strong.
Well, in character.
Are you alluding to the fact that I needed your help pulling paper off a surface?
I would never.
Okay, well, I'll give it to Vincent to carry for me when he's here. Okay, but for now I carry it.
All right. Don't you also have a magical scarf that carries things?
Thank you, Ramu.
You're very welcome.
I take it out and I shove it in.
How big is that book? How much does your scarf hold?
Infinite.
No.
It's full of a bunch of jewels. No, wait, doesn't it have the...
It has
the
a
head?
floating skull with
It
fire
does!
eyes.
I forgot. No, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna keep that safely in my pocket. I'm just gonna hold this book.
All right. Walk well back to the city center.
Okay.
You know what I also forgot about? My new friend and my dog. I should probably go try to find them. She's probably still sleeping.
I don't understand how you're making friends in this city at this time, but more power to you, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's me.
Part of your charm, Pam. So, Vorgana, shall we away?
Yes, I will say yes.
Oh,
for Vorgana.
Is Vorgana not there?
Yes. Oh,
Vorgana
wait.
non
Okay.
grata?
Vorgana says yes.
Sorry, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Of course, no worry. All right, let us step out into this alleyway.
Ramu,
Let's do it.
Are you gonna need any, like, special weapons? I mean, are the 9 hells hot? Are you gonna need special boots? Are you gonna need water? Are you gonna need something?
The plan is more or less to get there and get out. So, here. You said that you wanted him back quickly, as do I, which it's if you have decreasing returns the more that we plan out for this versus what we're going to be able to enact, because if we wait too long he may just be let's go.
Okay. I will let you guys do your thing. I'm gonna supervise you guys shifting, and then I'm gonna head back out to Darius, okay? So I'm gonna make sure this goes okay. And there's no screaming, there's no hellfire. And then I'll leave.
Very responsible of you.
Yes, I try. This book is very heavy.
You waddle out to the street with Vorgana and Ramu.
So shall you go first or shall I go first in terms of the casting of the spell, Vorgana?
I think Vorgana is at a loss for words. So perhaps...
You know what, that is alright. Here we are. Vorgana, shall you or I go first in casting of the spell? I have my tuning fork to cast it with.
He reaches into his robes and pulls out a metal rod, a tuning rod.
Ramu, you're so cool, man. I'm so glad you're here with us.
Thank you, that's much appreciated. Perhaps I will go first, just as I have done this before, and I want to... You know what I mean. Once a teacher, always a teacher. All right.
Well, cheerio! Pip pip! Be careful. Also, what if Oron is not a willing creature, and he doesn't want to come with you guys? What then?
Then I do hope that Vincent has tried to convince him.
Okay. Well, I'm just planning out all the awful scenarios that might happen in my head. So, good luck. I hope it goes well.
And with that, you hear him mutter some arcane words under his breath, and then, almost like he's about to knock it out of his hand, he flicks the tuning fork.
Aww.
And then he and Vorgana disappear.
Okay.
Vincent, what have you been doing in the next few rounds the last couple rounds while they've been working?
Okay.
Have you been trying to still get out, or have you been trying to... What have you been doing?
There's a few different things I want to do. First of all, I just remembered I have a small mirror mounted on a metal handle. So I want to try to use that to see where the lock is on the other side of the door.
Okay. Make a perception check with advantage.
Here we go. Oh. Okay, I don't know if this counts, but it also says proficiency with, or in the Thieves' Tools description, it says proficiency with these tools lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you may make to disarm or open locks.
Ooh.
Since I'm technically opening a lock, will this allow me to add my proficiency to the perception check?
I admire this. However, I think looking for a lock is different than disarming a lock. You already were getting advantage because you're using the mirror. So,
okay.
I know. There you go. You got what you needed. So you do see the lock on the exterior of this prison. You can also see using the mirror as a little bit more of a turnaround. This prison that you're in, the reason that you can't see too far out of it is because it's almost like inset into the ground of the place that you're in. It's on a flat plane, and then the further that you look out and kind of shine, you can see that there is light from somewhere above you, but it's a weird discordant color that doesn't look like it goes with the rest of your environment. The lock that you see on the door is within reach of your hand. You can see it. You could see it enough to fiddle with it. Since you'd only be doing it with one hand, it would probably be hard, and you don't know if it has any magical attachments to it. Based on the place that you're in and the places you're usually in, could go either way.
Well, I don't have anything else to do, so I'm going to try it.
Okay.
At least once.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, your tools, you pull back out, and one of your little lockpicks is bent up.
What?
But no, you didn't hear like a sound. You didn't hear like an alarm. It just didn't work.
Okay. All right. I want to kind of sit there and, like, I guess meditate. Okay. And I want to channel Hellwind and my lion mask, and I want to try to use an Oliver roll to essentially become a being of the seven hells and be able to survive it and walk in it without being without having any hindrance.
Without having any hindrance. So you kind of want to fully give yourself over to your mask in hopes that will save you, basically.
Yes, or at least make it so I can walk around in here more easily. So
you don't have to make the con saves after every 10 minutes.
Yeah, and possibly other things that might come up because I'm in the seven hells or the nine hells.
Okay. All right. Are you doing this willfully, hopefully, based on some kind of memory, based on some kind of bond, based off of some kind of curiosity, or based off of some kind of understanding?
Curious. Curious.
Curious? Okay.
No,
Sure.
totally up to you. Just
Or
do.
I feel like for me, it's either based on some kind of understanding or based on some kind of bond. I'm gonna say based on some kind of bond because of my mask.
Okay.
Interesting.
Go ahead and roll 1d6. And let's see what happens here.
Yee.
I want to use my chaos roll.
Okay.
Fabulous.
All right.
That's a good call, I think.
Roll another d6.
Yeah,
can't
roll a
possibly
d6
do
for your
critical
chaos
failure.
roll.
Yes!
Your roll becomes a critical
Let's
success.
go.
Okay. One
Cool.
second. I have to check something. Well, actually, no. That would have been the bad thing if that had happened, so I don't have to quite check that yet.
Well, can I ask what would have happened?
You can ask me that later, and I still won't tell you.
Okay. Ah! What?
I love
Me?
you.
How gonna tell me?
Hun.
I thought I was special.
It's because you are special and you know that, you doofus. Okay. Alright. Okay. So you put the mask on over your head and you kind of adjust your clothes around you. And as you do, you hear this kind of like low growl in your head. This kind of sinister one that seems to come from not your throat, but from like where your jaw overlaps with the jaw of the mask. But then a few moments later, a growl so intense that you're surprised when you recognize it does come from you. That kind of comes through your spine, and you open up your eyes and you have the distinct feeling of like some part of you is the leader of the pack and the mask is not. But you still feel very animalistic and controlling. You're using an aspect of the mask, but you're not allowing it. You're, by your force of will, by your bond that you're trying to have with this mask to make it be a positive thing for the sake of Olron, for the sake of your friends, for the sake of Oliver. Through all of this, you are taking what would have otherwise been this dark, corrupting thing and being like, no, this is what's useful of this. That's what I have. The rest of it, no.
Awesome. I probably should have specified this earlier, but I was hoping this would be anytime I'm in the 9 hells.
It's a perfect roll. We'll have to see, but I will think that. I will jot that down.
Okay.
Hopefully you never have to come back here. What are you talking about?
I mean, it seems like a cool
place. Stop it!
Okay.
Okay. So now you don't have to make Constitution saves while you're down here. And I'll say that you're also getting kind of the added wisdom check bonus. So you'll get advantage on the saves that you would have been having to make, not because you're down here, but because time is ongoing. The wisdom of this mask, that's usually what overpowers you, you're now using it to your ability to prevent the Feeble Mind spell from taking place while you're in the 9 hells. So you get advantage on those saves when they come up, which is less frequently.
Okay, then does that also mean, hear me out, that my perception check will have a different modifier because my wisdom better?
You know what? That's a fair point. It is a proper mask. It would affect how you're seeing things. In fact, when you put it on, the like colors and darkness and heat that's been affecting your physical form down here just kind of fades away, and it's almost like you could have a kind of thermal vision, and almost like you can see more colors than usual. They're not necessarily good colors, but they're more colors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'll say that your perception bonus has changed. While you're in the 9 hells fully mastering the power of the Mask of the Lion, I'll say that you have like a +5 to perception.
Nice. Okay. Do I feel, or can I don't know if I can ask this and just get the answer straight up, but do I have my attack bonuses still added, like from the mask, or is that a separate?
That's a separate thing. Because you're using the full power of the mask
Okay.
in the way that's recognizing kind of its own intelligence and wisdom and mastering it, it's not letting loose the violence that's contained within it as much.
Okay. I guess I can't try to pick the lock again. I'm gonna try to look for I guess the weakest spot on the gate.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Get above a 17.
Oh.
What? It's hard. It's a gate that looks all the same.
You can do it. Okay.
Are you serious? Well,
that's a natural one.
Well, Lily, at least you're a badass right now.
Right now.
He's always a badass.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so
Sorry if you hear my roommates in the background.
it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Other prisoners.
Yes, it's prisoners to the side.
Yeah, them. We don't talk about them.
All right. Well, I'm just going to try to continue. I want to just the hole that I opened up a little bit for my hand to fit through.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to just like open it even more to the point where I could possibly just squeeze through.
With your crowbar or with your hands?
With my crowbar.
Okay, go ahead and make. That's a pretty tall order. You are a big boy because muscles. Go ahead and roll a strength check for me.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I use acrobatics instead?
No. You like slowly start to peel it back, but it's really slow going. Because because the way that this has been made is so meticulous and the connections that everything has, it's rough. When you do break apart something, instead of it being like a chain in the link fence, it becomes a big sharp pointy point that you easily can like stab yourself on, so you're trying to be like careful.
Oh no.
Yeah. So.
I'm out of ideas. I'm just gonna try to attack it with my sword.
Okay.
In true Vincent fashion.
Okay, yeah. Go for it. Go ahead and make some attacks real quick.
Nice.
That'll hit roll damage, I guess.
And I'm going to try to hit the part that I've already been bending with the crowbar, because I don't know of any specific weak point otherwise, but like I know that I can move that at least.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You see it says some damage, but a lot of it like does not seem to be as much damage as you would have hoped.
I have a hammer. But
Okay.
It's not an attacking hammer.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say that you continue to attack this
Okay.
while it's only Vorgana and Ramu who are going to this place, correct?
Did somebody say Vorgana? Hello.
Vincent, have you considered tunneling? One suggestion.
I do have a shot. I don't know what the ground is like though.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Put a pin in it.
Wish to dig us deeper into this hell.
Ramu, we got this. Don't worry about it.
That was not Ramu.
That was Olron to but it's okay.
Oh.
I mean, Olron, don't worry about it.
You're not there.
You're not there yet.
Wait, so am I
Forget
talking to
about it.
Olron?
Well, Olron
Or-
is in there, and he like sees you kind of consider. You just like look at the ground and have a shovel, and he's like,
What are you considering?
I'm trying to get us out of here. Any way I can find. I kind of like walk up to him and I'm like, "Are you okay? What was the last thing you remember?"
I remember fighting with Ashoka, and I recall being swallowed by that purple worm and losing consciousness, but then something strange happened. It was as though so much of my life that was a life had been just a dream, and this cell, this heat, this bog, and filth is all I'd ever known, because it was all it had ever known, but
I just I interrupt him. I kneel down and I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna get you out of here. You're gonna see it.
Iris. Iris.
No.
his like forehead crinkles, like he puts his head in his hand, like he's trying really hard to concentrate on something. And with that, Vorgana, you and Ramu suddenly find yourself standing in on a different plane of existence. That
What?
everywhere that you look around you is like you're standing on a small island that looks like it's made up of refuse and dirt amidst like in a lake of acidic looking pollution. You look like every few feet looks like there's a decaying body. There's different skeletons.
What the hell?
It's the places that you look around that you do see like rises and peaks in the landscape. It looks like volcanic rock. Trees are still growing, but they look dead.
Are we still in the lower plains? Can
Uh,
I make a roll to see where?
Make either a like general perception check of the place around you, or a history check to see if this aligns with what you do know about this layer of the Nine Hells.
Okay.
Because I found which specific nine.
Oh.
Nice.
Rolled a 24.
Yes. Okay. So you are on the third layer of the Nine Hells, which is called Minaros. And you know that it is characterized by being an endless bog of vile pollution. And it contains the likes of which it's almost like a mutation point in the Nine Hells, where there are creatures here that even other evil, devilish things in the other layers are afraid of.
Oh God.
It is like connected to the other layers through deep chains, and you can see history. You know that part of how it's constructed, there's like a cave ceiling far, far above you to indicate the bottom of the other layer that kind of falls down in different areas that becomes these, pollutional swamps, and the kind of like dirty looking water everywhere. Some places it spurts up and down. In the distance, there's like a proper city of the kind of volcanic black stone, and it looks almost like it's kind of Leaning Tower Pisa-ing, existing in this kind of watery bog, and past that you can see kind of inset, almost like the way that this layer is contained, the very edge of it kind of drops off and then goes out and out and out. And you're not sure quite why, but you do know that when Pam was showing you the way here, she said that Vincent was on the edge of one of these, or on the edge of this layer. Not the. No,
Definitely not a good vacation spot. I do agree with that enterprising young man who wrote such a guide. Goodness.
Are you okay? Ramu, you okay?
It's awful here.
It is awful. This is terrible. I'm sorry. I probably, I'm a little bit of a cough, but not too bad.
Well, you are a younger man than I and are currently how did this all happen again? You're kind of like wooden and stone and such.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part too. Yeah, I I look at myself. Yeah, I just transported myself from where my regular body was. Although I'm actually quite surprised it's holding up. Um, since I'm in an entirely different realm, I didn't know I could do that.
Seems like quite a bit of powerful. I'm not even sure if I would call it magic, but holding you together.
he kind of like starts looking around you, almost like he's checking the way that you're.
I just give the shrug, like the what happened shrug. If anyone's
Does
ever
Ramu have message?
Sending, you mean?
No, I mean message.
I don't think he does. Mage hand, minor illusion. No, he does not have message.
Dang it.
Okay. In any case, Vorgana and Ramu, if you guys would like to make general perception checks to just try and orient yourself and figure out where you are in this area. Since you looked at the maps with Pam, you have kind of general ideas of where this... Okay.
God, hopefully he did better than me.
Okay,
Because I have no idea where we are.
Let me make a perception check for Ramu. 1d20 plus... What's this man's
God,
perception?
please.
What's this big dragon man's
Please.
perception? Ramu.
What's this big dragon man's?
Plus 3.
Is he a dragon?
Woo!
Half dragon?
He's a dragonborn.
He's a dragonborn? Fuck yeah!
You've been playing with him for how many sessions?
Episode 30 something.
That's
I
great.
literally was just like, I hate this guy. And then he's a dragonborn. Yeah!
The coolest.
I just get all like, oh my god, you're awesome.
I've been this way for quite some time. I am Ramu Paolo. I am.
I needed my dragonborn glasses on. I have.
Right, it must be hard to see when you're made up of elements that typically don't make up a humanoid form. I can understand the issue.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were human, but you're way more exciting.
And luckily for you, my friend, I do believe I know exactly where we are.
Oh, excellent. Okay, where's that?
We are a few miles past the outskirts of the primary city of this plane, which means that if Vincent is on the very outskirts, we only have to make our way across a mile or two of acidic bog and potentially infested with devils of many kinds in order to get to him. Huzzah!
Huzzah. Okay, do you know how long we can stay in this muck for?
It's probably a very bad idea. In all honesty, because it is made up of the refuse from the plains above, I would anticipate that it varies depending upon the area, whether the reason it's bad to be in it is because it will literally burn you alive, versus if it will simply poison you slowly so that you do not realize you have been poisoned until you get back to a regular plane, and then, oh no, in a couple of years your friends notice that you have this cough, and you know what I mean.
I literally give I don't know if I can do it in the chat, but like the widest eyes. It's like I don't even answer. I'm just like
Apologies, sometimes sometimes I say too much things. Let us go.
No, it's okay. Yeah, let's just start go? Like, are we supposed to go now? Like, what's our best course of action? Let's get the fuck out of here.
So, Ramu points in a direction. Let me set up the mechanics of this so that you guys can understand. You're gonna have to cross basically like 3 big lakes of this green stuff if you want to go just the most direct route. Otherwise, you can come up with ways to go over the water or try to work your way around it by going closer to the city, which means potentially more enemies, but you don't know if there's enemies in the water in any case. It would be Constitution saving throws making your way through the water with varied effects, but depending on each of the kind of areas that you go through. So the first would be one, the second would be another, the third would be another. And then similar to Vincent in this realm, as you go through each of your 5 rolls or 10 minutes, you'll make a Constitution save. This is not a good place to be.
Okay. Ramu, let me make an intelligence check to
Try and decipher our best path. Yes, I do think that would be best.
Yeah, I think
I should have given them the magic carpet.
That would have been amazing. 16.
All right. Well, the current landscape, if you had some kind of a means of flying over, it would be great. Otherwise, it might make more sense, almost if, like, one of you is strong enough to carry another on your shoulders, for one of you to walk all the way there and the other to take the other all the way back, depending on how that would work. You don't know what kind of state Vincent is in. You don't know if you're going to have to carry him. You're not sure how the rest of this transport is going to work. But hopefully you should only have to cross once. You just don't know what else. Vincent could be surrounded by fire, water, demon monster things. You don't know.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he could be.
So, while you consider... let me look at with the 16. I'm going to look at your spells for you so that I can see if there's anything smart that you can do.
Yeah, that would be nice. I've been looking at them. Some of them I'm like, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Can you fly?
I cannot fly. I don't think.
Can
I
Ramu
can
fly?
plane shift, but I've already done. I was kidding.
I can give myself mage armor, or I can... Oh, no, never mind, actually. There's an option of mine. I have a spell called Flesh to Stone, which I can fuse with stone skin. I made that mistake once, and I will not make it again.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about meld into stone?
No, similar, but no. I suppose you could do that if you wanted to go underneath everything, but I don't think this stone is necessarily...
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a bad idea.
It is up to you, though. Knowing your current physical form, I don't know if you want to go back to the material flame being made up partially up of, hellfire acid rock.
Hellscape.
Yes.
Made up of hellscape? I don't know if that's a good idea. I could, but sounds like a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could summon a planar ally to help us guide ourselves. Some kind of demon prince.
You could do that. Typically, from what I understand here, demon princes do like to make deals, but they rarely work out well for anyone who gets involved in one.
How many demon princes have you made deals with?
Don't worry yourself in my business, boy.
Okay, you got it. I will not ask again, ever.
Good. Students come in so many different forms. You know what, as far as I say...
I'm going to roll an intelligence check for Ramu to see how he wants to go with this.
I'd love to be his confidant. I think that's the right word. I'm also looking at a bunch of spells.
What's your intelligence, my man? There it is.
Same as you, my good boy. I feel as though either way that we go, we will either injure ourselves through the waters or through whatever enemies we may encounter in an attempt to avoid something else. The harm will come to us either way. Why not take the most direct path?
You mean going through those waters?
Yes, I do.
All right. Yeah, I guess we can go for it. I feel like that's probably better than fighting whatever monsters. We don't have a whole group with us, so if one of us goes down, the fight's gonna get a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably better to.
Okay. With this, Ramu is going to set off and just start kind of wading into the water of this area. As
Okay.
it goes, he's going to lead the way, and you're going to see him make his first Constitution saving throw
Oh God. Okay.
before you have to do anything.
Oh, my constitution's so bad, everyone.
No!
Oh, he made a natural 20.
He's so cool.
Oh my God,
Ramu's
he's
dragon
amazing.
scales are protecting him against this first bout. You can get in after him after this first one. You can see that as he moves past this first spot, he's having to kind of the water is about up to his shoulders.
Okay.
So you can go in right after him, or you can wait and watch him make all of these Constitution saving throws first.
I'm gonna go in after him because he might have to use some of his nat 20s to save my.
Okay. Constitution saving throw. Okay. I'm going to roll.
Oh, saving throw. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead and roll it as a saving throw.
Okay. Why am I forgetting how to do that?
It should be in the upper left
Oh.
hand.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well.
Oh my God, the same.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
You take that much acid damage.
Oh my God. Fuck. No. This is bad. So bad.
No. So 15
okay.
wasn't high enough?
No, it's 18.
Does
Oh.
anyone off the top of their head know 75 minus 18?
75 minus 18.
17.
No.
Wait, what?
75 minus
sorry.
18 is.
Yeah.
75 minus 18. Sorry, I thought you said 35.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
57.
57?
Uh-huh.
Thank you for answering, though. I appreciate it.
As the
I
math
did
major
not
stays
know.
silent.
It's fine.
At first, I was like, 17 HP? I'm gonna die.
Okay. Ramu's going to make. He's actually seeing you like instantly react. He's gonna swim back, and he's gonna take disadvantage on his con save so that you can have advantage on your next one. But you guys are moving together now.
Oh goodness.
Is he like? Is this like chicken in a pool where he's just on his shoulders?
Ooh. Kind of. He's trying to do that, but Ramu's kind of heavy, so it's more like on one shoulder, kind of, but it's weird because also the fact that he's in water now is kind of making the form that Vorgana is in kind of parts of the dirt that's in him and parts of the stone are kind of crumbling a little bit. Okay.
I'm like, oh my God, what is me?
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Run, run, run.
So you get advantage on your next con save, and he took disadvantage, which means he got a 4, which means...
Oh God. Oh no.
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 How much HP does he have? I will heal you both so good.
If we can make it.
Stop.
Oh no.
What?
This is so bad. I
did
not make either of them.
Okay, so this was for Ramu because he got below a 10. So he takes 11 damage.
Yeah, so
he's lucky.
You're fine, I think. We're gonna...
Let's see about this. I'm gonna get... Oh no! 18 damage, or 19 damage.
Oh, goodness
no.
gracious me.
Okay, last one and then we're through. Oh, gracious.
it's like stinging your skin, and it's weird because you don't really have nerves in this skin, but the way that you can, it's almost more eerie. It's like if you deadened your hand and then watched this part of it turn to ash. That's kind of what it feels like. So, it,
I might need to heal it. I might just. Can I heal both of us?
if you did, it'll take up your action instead of the moving through the water.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna
Yeah,
give you
hopefully I don't
advantage again
die.
by taking disadvantage.
Okay, goodness.
Oh, he gives up a natural 20 again.
Oh no!
A 12.
Oh,
So he
my
takes...
dude. I love this guy. Oh, damn it.
Okay,
This
go ahead
sucks.
and roll your Constitution save with advantage.
Oh my god.
With
please.
advantage!
Oh, wait, I know, but still, I'm still messing up.
You are just not a very constitutionally good cleric, my guy. Gracious.
No, I'm not. This is... I don't have any
sacrifices
bonuses.
were in vain.
Hey! That's only 5 damage. That's great. It's not in the teens. Doesn't have an anxiety problem. That's actually the problem that people... Okay.
5 damage for him. For Ramu.
Pardon?
5 damage for Ramu.
No, the 5 is for you. He took the 17.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Jeez. Well, at this point, him taking 17 is probably better.
Okay. With that, you guys are through the first lake. You kind of pull yourselves onto the next bit of land.
That was the first lake?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
See, I knew it.
Everyone dying. Should have brought the enemy.
Okay, we may need to come up with a different plan of action for that next one. You know what?
I'm like crawling.
You heal yourself. I'm going to investigate and see what this next area is.
He's going to make a nature check to see if he can tell what kind of damage the next will do or what's up with it.
The flying carpet really would have helped with this.
Yes.
Okay, what is my spellcasting ability there?
I don't know anything about water.
Aw.
What the hell is water?
No.
What the hell is water?
I don't know anything about I suddenly forgot what.
I know light. I don't know water.
Dorian talked to me when we were drinking ale, but water, I don't know. Forget all about water. Ugh, gracious. Water is a rich man's scam.
Yes. I'm just on the ground. You're right. Goodness, what is my spellcasting modifier here?
I think it's like +7. Let me check for you.
Okay.
Vorgana.
I'm feeling like I'm just not looking in the right spot.
It's +5. It's your spell attack bonus.
It's on the spells area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I get 3d8 plus to heal myself. And oh goodness, what am I doing? I'm sorry, everyone. I've let all of you down. 18 points of health.
Healing. Yeah, good job.
Okay, let me tower this really fast.
What I do know about the water we're going to go into next, as opposed to the one that we were in before. Before it was kind of greenish. This appears to be more brown, green, black. Oof.
That sounds worse.
I do not jive with the color palette of this plane at all. Oof.
Me neither. I'm green, so it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Are you going to heal Ramu?
I am actually looking to see if I can cure him.
Actually,
Do another cure max wounds on him.
Hold on a moment.
Okay.
He starts to dig through his robes. I'm gonna give Ramu an investigation check to see if he still has it or if he lost it in the battle up top. If he gets above a 15, he still has it. Where is my Ramu? Oh, I'm on it. I'm so silly. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets a
Who
+9.
said that?
Do you want to give Miguel What?
Ah!
I guess not. Sorry. I forgot I was unmuted.
Okay.
But Miguel really needs a hug.
Ramu holds up a potion vial and he looks over at you, Vorgana.
I entirely forgot that I had this. I thought I might have lost it in the fight back in the material plane. But here, take this.
And he hands you a potion.
This
What?
is a potion of flying. Only one of us can use it. But I feel as though you
I
may...
think you need it, man.
I have scales. You're literally made of dirt right now. It's
I have
It's
skills,
alright.
aka I don't have any HP. I cannot be killed.
no, we'll figure something out. Just take this.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Perhaps you could try to carry me. Are you particularly strong?
Yeah. I guess I have a +2 in strength. Some people say. Wink.
Could you lift a 200-something pound dragonborn man?
I can definitely try.
I suppose we'll just have to go for it.
All right. Let me try lifting. How
Before you take the potion,
should I take the potion?
it's up to you. He has given it to you.
I'm going to drink it because I'm hoping it's kind of like a strength potion, so I can just carry him all the way there.
When you drink the here, let me do my instructional now you know what the card says voice. When you drink this potion, you gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed for 1 hour and can hover. If you're in the air when the potion wears off, you fall unless you have some other means of staying aloft. This potion's clear liquid floats at the top of its container and has cloudy white impurities drifting in it. That is a potion of flying.
Dang, that was awesome. You sounded like a plane, like I was on a plane.
Please buckle your seatbelts and adjust your...
Please let that be said right when I drink it.
Okay, so are you going to down the vial?
I asked her, well, should I drink this whole thing or can I drink half of it and
It
let
would
it
be
go?
very unwise to drink only portion of the
Okay.
potion.
Okay, I'll drink the whole thing then. I just gulp it down.
Please keep your arms inside your body. Okay.
The potions that I keep in stock were actually meant to be a bit of a teaching course once we got the guild started up to introduce people in. So some of them have a little bit of instructional material when you drink them down. It's not perfect yet, but how do you like it?
As you're like floating above the ground.
Wait, can we rewind a little bit? I got some early work here. This is when I'm opening the bottle.
Okay, go ahead and open it.
Wait, okay, ready?
Perfect.
Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oops. Okay. We can keep going, sorry.
Please keep your arms close to your body and be wary of other flying objects.
It's an instructional potion
Pick
as
up
well.
Ramu and get the heck going.
Do you want to see if you can lift me now?
Let's do it.
All right.
Go ahead and make a strength check. He is big boy, so please do good.
Goodness.
Oh,
Okay,
chaos roll.
Yeah, I might need to.
If you want.
I might need to all. Should I go for it?
Well, what do you want to do?
I want to be able to pick him up and just fly the whole way. Not the whole way, but you know what I mean.
No, the whole way. Go big or
As
go
much
home.
as Granny will let me without it being complete just overkill.
Without giving me too much word prompt fodder that I can then spin into nightmares if it doesn't go well.
Goodness
I
gracious.
mean, either way.
Do you want to do your chaos roll? The one that will
Yeah.
let you re-roll the strength check? Not okay.
Yeah, I'll do the chaos roll.
Okay.
Roll
go,
a 6.
go ahead and roll 1d6 for me.
1d6. Thank you. both of you.
2.
Oh my god.
Oh
You
no!
may
Oh, no.
re-roll with disadvantage.
Come on.
Ah,
Get 2 really good rolls.
can't be worse than a 9, right?
Why did you say that?
Oh my
At least it wasn't a 1.
Yeah.
Here comes the...
True.
Oh.
Okay, so you, because you went to re-roll it, as you were lifting Ramu, you were starting to kind of struggling to keep him aloft as you started to fly over the water. You made it about halfway, and then Ramu splashes down into the water. He's going to make 2 Constitution saving throw at disadvantage because he's caught off guard.
Oh no. No.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
How do I want to quantify this?
Oh.
I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw for him now.
No.
Come on, Ramu. He's very wise.
He's all right.
Well, fine.
Okay.
Is
Oh,
he
I
alright?
told you.
Alright.
He's very wise.
That's his 3rd natural 20.
He wants his boy back. Is
Yeah,
what
he's
it is.
killing it. He's killing it.
He takes another 15 points combined of psychic and necrotic damage.
No.
Oh
And he
god.
has to make one more set of Constitution saves before he makes it to the end of the lake, but he is not, something else bad doesn't happen to him. So you're
Good.
still
Okay.
flying over and you land on the other side. Unless, do you want to try to strength check again to lift him out the rest of the way, or do you just want to let him do his Constitution save to make it over?
Roll.
I guess I'll roll. What was I rolling again?
You can try to do another strength check to lift him out of the water and carry him the rest of the way over. Or you can let him roll his last Constitution save to get to the next bank. And then there's one more bit of water after this that you guys have to cross to get to Vincent.
Is a 13 enough?
Uh,
I don't think so, but
not enough to lift him out wholly. I will say I'll give him advantage on his Constitution save because, like, at least his torso is up out of the water. So it's just, like, his legs.
Oh.
okay. I'm sorry, Ramu. I've failed you.
No, you're fine.
It's quite all right.
I've failed you.
He has advantage.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
He didn't get the 18.
No.
It's
Oh
okay.
my god. Is he gonna die?
No.
It's okay.
Stop saying that.
As
How
you
much-
pull him... Huh?
How much HP does he have?
You are not there and don't know that. You pull him out onto the other bank and you realize that as you look at him, it looks like Ramu has aged in the, like, 20 minutes that you guys have been here.
Oh, no.
Oh
And-
no.
Who weighs more, Ramu or
Vorgana.
Vorgana?
It's hard to tell with Vorgana's current, like, assimilated as needed form. But, I mean, a big old dragonborn warlock or a plate mail wearing, you know, half-orc cleric, they're similar. Okay, both of you make perception and nature checks, and
Perception and nature? Oh my god.
I just hit
Oh my
slash in nature. Can you tell I'm tired?
Wait, is it either or?
Perception if you just want the general information about what's coming up next. Nature is if you want to try and figure out what the water's about.
Ooh.
Well, I guess I'm getting the perception.
Nice.
Okay. The next batch is kind of short, and it's almost like the water that you have to cross through is fog. And at the very end of it, you can see at the edge before this part of the plane drops out into the lower area that you're pretty sure is where Vincent is, that you guys have been guided to. You see something like live crawling around over there. So that tells you either need to be ready for a fight, which neither of you are, or you need to be zombie.
I still don't know what this water is.
Oh god. Oh god. Well, my stealth, I don't think I can be stealthy. So I think that's a bad idea to roll that.
Well, if you're flying through the air, that's pretty stealthy.
I
Nobody's
guess
looking
that's
up.
true. I can just try to fly past. Can that work? Or am I being? Is that too much to ask?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that for me? I was looking at a spell.
Oh no, it's okay. Would I be able to fly past them?
You could probably fly past him no problem if you timed it right, because you got so good on your perception roll, but you'd have to leave Ramu behind.
Oh my god. I don't know if that's a good idea. What should I do? Can I message someone from a different plane?
You can cast message if you have the spell, but I believe you have to roll something if it's at a different plane. No, I'm wrong.
I think just rolling in general is a bad idea right now.
But if you have message, you could message Vincent.
Vincent.
Oleron.
If you have sending, you could try to talk to someone else. But yeah.
I think I do have sending. I'm just forgetting what level spell it is.
It's a
right
third
now.
level spell.
Third level spell? Okay, I think I have a third level spell slot still.
How much of our episodes is you guys trying to get back together after some circumstances split you apart to get back to the main thing, but then something else about how you're dealing with the main thing splits you guys apart again? Feels like that's
the majority.
It feels like that's a theme.
Yeah.
That's just DieRole.
Yeah, that's just DieRole.
That's just how we roll.
Just this campaign. That's how we roll.
Good thing we have a lot of friendly NPCs to help us.
Yeah.
Make us feel less lonely.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, before I cast message, I want to try, if it's okay, if I hope I can try and do this. Could I do some kind of intelligence or wisdom check to know exactly when I have the opportunity to get past these guys?
I'll say yeah, you can do like a either just a I'm trying to consider what that would be, because normally looking at when the right time would be to do that could be considered part of a stealth roll, but I know that you're trying to plan it far enough in advance that it isn't really in the way that you're moving, it's in the way that you're thinking. So I'm trying to think if that would either be just, I'll say that would be either a survival roll for you, because then you're considering it almost as like a part of the environment that you're trying to avoid rather than a person, or just another perception, whichever of those is higher for you. I don't know if either is.
Definitely survival.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay.
What is with me and rolling? I got a 20 on a freaking perception check.
So you can still go over there, but when you go over there, you will have to make some kind of a stealth check to not be seen, since you aren't able to plan it in advance as you were hoping to.
Well, fly over there and haul Ramu as far as you can.
I think that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Are you gonna try to lift Ramu?
Yeah, I will.
Does Ramu need healing before you do any of that?
He said he didn't want me to heal him. I mean, I could try and heal him.
If you would, I believe it might help. Otherwise, I do have. Do I still? Oh, goodness gracious!
I'm gonna roll another investigation check and see if he still has his one healing potion that he had. He does.
I can also use this. It feels so silly. We were just in a blowout battle for the fate of a city, and now we're getting beat up by some water that isn't even a real thing. Water. I think I have a thing against water now, just like forever.
No.
I don't.
Sounds like it. I was gonna cast food and water for you, but that sounds like a bad idea. At least half of it does.
Yes, half of it does sound like a very bad idea. Who came up with water anyway? Poof. Water.
I know. Just food. Come on, guys. Come on, just food.
Just food.
Hashtag
Food
just
is
food.
fine. I don't know what a hashtag is, but that. In any case, I do have a potion of healing, so allow me to use that.
Okay.
I feel ridiculous.
I feel you. I feel you.
Using a potion of healing because I couldn't swim through some water. And you know what? It's not even that good either because it's made of, you guessed it, water.
Oh, yeah. It's got a little bit of water in it. Sorry. Bill and I couldn't be able to save that thing.
Alright, so that did help me a little bit. If you would try to carry me over, I would appreciate it. I don't know how stealthy we're going to be able to be with, well, you and I, but... We'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll a nat 20. Come on.
Go ahead and roll a. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So his legs are in the water, but his torso is not. So that means he gets advantage on the saving throw, as I have said previously.
Previously.
Okay,
Oh.
he still didn't get above an 18.
Thank God. Oh, come on.
Gee.
His legs are gonna be gone by the time Ramu made it. And he's just
Don't
like,
say that.
my legs are gone.
Okay. Next Constitution save for. Do you
I
want
knew
to?
I hated water. Oh, Constitution save.
Or a strength check for this, since you're trying to help him each time.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Nice.
I think that's better. I think he doesn't have to. Well, the save itself is 18. So I feel like the 17 would be enough to lift him out of it, except for maybe his feet, which his feet are all kinds of messed up at this point. Okay, so the second one is good. On to the third and final thing. Make another strength check,
Oh my God.
and we'll see whether or not he's back in the water.
Oh, man. That's Vergana single-handedly killing these 2018.
And then for the purposes of this part of the water, this is... Okay. It doesn't match it. Okay. But he does get out onto the edge of the land on the other side. There's just enough space for you guys to duck down for a second. But both of you need to make stealth rolls. Ramu makes his with disadvantage since he's having to climb out of the water.
Oh no.
Back.
Nice.
You're just two big loud boys.
Oh no.
Immediately screaming and cursing water as you come up. Immediately attracting the attention of
No.
a large humanoid-looking figure with chains wrapped around every part of them, and long metal hooks at the end, almost like some kind of whips, with this like red skin, not in a way that is natural, but in a way that looks like it has been burning from the inside.
Huh.
Yay.
Try to pretend like you know him and he's your friend.
All right.
I would do it if I
Performance
was
check.
there.
Here we go. Carl, what's up, man?
I'm gonna need both of you guys to roll initiative, but before we actually do that, we can go ahead and roll it. But I think we're gonna cut back to Darius and Pam.
No.
Okay. We were rolling initiative first.
If you want to, go for it.
Oh
Why
my
would
God.
you say his name is Carl when it's probably definitely not Carl?
Wait,
was he
did
supposed
you
to
guys get
say?
that?
Was it that YouTube, like the llamas?
No.
Oh.
Or sorry, like, did you get my initiative?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you and the
Oh,
bad
God.
guy go at the same time, and then let's see when Ramu goes.
Ramu, for the love of God, I will throw you.
Y'all all go at the same time, so it just depends on your dexterity. Okay.
My dexterity is -4, so I go last.
I think
Oh.
Ramu's is also bad. Ramu's
Oh
is
my
-1.
No,
We're gonna die.
I'm still close by.
That's true. Relatively, but for now
My
we cut.
first move is sending.
For now we.
Messy.
For now we
Sorry.
cut away. It's okay. Back to city center.
Okay.
Where Pam and Darius. Darius. In all this time, you and
Yes.
Pam have gone back and watched as the people in the city have kind of reassociated themselves with their different groups. After not too long of a time, Bruno in his red uniform turns out to the crowd and kind of goes,
Who attacked Raja? What happened? Why is he bleeding now?
He fell. Right on his nose. It was really sad. Yeah. In the confusion of the worms and stuff, he just fell. It was kind of embarrassing, to be honest.
Bruno is
But-
squinting at you. Make a deception check.
Okay. Ah.
Nice.
Okay.
Bruno says, I guess so.
Typically, Raja is more graceful than that, but
Yeah, I can tell, but this time around, it was just chaotic, you know? There was just worms, and there was a weird monolithic creature walking around. That was weird, right? Yeah.
So let me set up the scene for you guys. You, Darius, and Ashoka are there. The people have kind of coalesced back into their groups, and the different leaders of these groups have kind of pulled up. The man with red hair and the black leathers and furs is standing in front of the Excelsior Guild. The woman in the dark dress is standing in front of a small group of children who are part of the civilians, some of whom look decently banged up, and the other civilians are just kind of around her and the rest of them. Bruno is at the front with the other people who are in blue, a bunch of whom you don't recognize, but they look very politician-y and who are all kind of crowded around their fallen over friend. But the leaders that you can see are this Excelsior fellow, Bruno. The blue people all seem like leaders, but they all seem like off guard in this instance. And then you guys and the woman in the black dress. And it's kind of like everybody's looking at each other. No one knows what to say.
Can I just, like, move forward and try to make a medicine check on Raja?
Sure. Go ahead and make a charisma check first. Just make sure that they let you into his space, and then make a medicine check. The charisma is just like a 15. Yeah, you're fine.
I'm just gonna whoop. Let me check out this little guy.
Okay. So this
So
is
now the rolls are high.
this is a older Arakokra fellow who clearly is having a similar response to seeing the boundaries of his world break kind of in front of him and his brain not being able to process it. You imagine that on top of a stressful day such as this, it was just kind of too much. There's blood coming out of like the little nose holes in his beak on his face, and like some of the blood. There are other areas on him that were injured already because he was like out here helping people. Like you can see the different parts of his like wing, and his leg looks like it's bent strangely and all that kind of stuff. He's unconscious, but he's not like near death or anything. He's just it's almost like he's fitfully unconscious, even though you don't think he's dreaming, like he doesn't have enough energy left for that. But he's seen better days, and you imagine that if nothing else, the psychological damage, not just of what he saw Vincent do, but everything else that went on today, will be quite long lasting. Even if, and the other things will heal naturally, but they might heal strangely. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that the leg is twisted a little bit looks like it's already started to try to mend itself, but because he's still just been walking around on it, you know.
Okay. Would some hit points make him not unconscious?
It may, but it will not. It may.
How many hit points?
Technically, if you just wanted to bring him back to consciousness, you just have to give him 1.
Okay. I'll give him like 5.
Okay. You watch his eyes kind of flutter open and he squints at you.
What up, buddy? You took a really nasty fall there. Do you remember falling on your face?
I kind of do.
Yeah, it was bad.
He kind of sits up a little bit onto his bird arm elbows. Don't know how that works. Who, may I ask, are you? If
I'm Pam. I just point like my thumb at myself.
I am Raja. He reaches out to shake hands. Are we still trying to have an election today, or have we rightfully assumed that priorities need to be shifted?
I just look up at Bruno.
I think that the priorities needing to be being shifted is exactly part of why we need this re-election. People need
Really,
something.
bro? Really? Today? I'm sure people have died today.
Yeah, and when people have died, people need something to stand behind that's worthwhile. Look at this. If we don't have some kind of a strong leader, and I think he's already there.
He points to Raja.
This is already the guy.
What?
I thought that we...
He fell on his face. No offense, Raja. It was just a moment of weakness, truly. It might not have even been your fault.
I take it that you are not entirely familiar with the city. Allow me to properly introduce myself. He makes himself stand up on his bad leg and kind of nods his head to you a little bit, kind of deeply. I am the head councilman of the Portland City Council.
I feel like I've been meaning to meet you. Somehow.
I do try to meet whoever comes into Portland, but you can
Do you know a Bertville?
He was a young boy back at the temple, back when I was the head cleric.
I think he should run this city, if I'm being honest. No offense, Raja. I'm sure you're a wonderful guy. But anyway, let's go help out people that are trapped under rubble. How does that sound? Let's go get people into safe spaces. How does that sound? Instead of dealing with politics, Bruno. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Where are the safe spaces in a city that's been destroyed? We have to rebuild them first, and we have to decide how and who and why we're rebuilding them. And for that, we need the leadership. I'm not saying... You think I enjoy talking about politics? I don't.
Yes.
I don't enjoy looking at you, okay? Let's just go...
Let's stop and go back over to your little friends before I... Bruno? And you hear a disjointed voice in front of there. Yeah, Bruno, put cork in it. Nobody cares.
Who said that? I like you.
It's not hard to tell. It's the dude in the dude who's leading the Excelsior little group.
Excelsior. I don't agree with you much, but when I do, I do.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, Darius, you think that we should just start leading people to safety? Is that priority number one?
I would think it's priority number one, but where are we going to put the safety? Where's the safety place?
That's my point exactly. Thank you.
What's left?
I mean,
We got some tents. We got some tents we could put up.
Where were you leading people before?
I was just leading them out of the building.
Are we sure that all the purple worms are gone?
Pretty sure.
Well, we killed 3 of them, so...
Beyond that, do we know why they were in the city in the first place? Who brought more than one of them here? Was it he looks over at Bruno. Was it the woman you interrogated?
No, it appears not.
Definitely not.
It was the blue tiefling lady.
You hear some murmurs in the crowd. Everyone make either a perception or insight check to feel out how people around you feel about the mention of the blue tiefling lady. Okay. Darius, if you would. Okay.
Huh.
You see, Darius, you hear that the biggest, people whispering is coming. At the most of the people whispering is coming mainly from the civilians. And the people who are in all the leadership roles are kind of just glancing back and forth at each other, looking a little bit confused. Pam, you see that someone from amongst the civilians, the woman in the dark dress, the older woman, has a little bit of a flash of recognition, and then she moves back into the crowd.
I think one thing we need to do is also take stock of who all is left. We will have to call a census later today, and everyone will come up and account for each of the members of their guild and see who's missing, so that we can see what we can do. We need to prioritize. We need to get people to safety, yes, but we also need to make sure that safety is going to be long-lasting and not just for the next 20 minutes. So, let me... He kind of turns towards the crowd and steps out for his minute. All right, if everyone, anyone who my current council members, please raise your hands, along with anyone who is running for the council today. And you see all the people in blue raise their hands, a couple people in the black raise their hands, and a decent amount of people in the civilians raise their hands. And the civilians are kind of splitting up more and more. You can see that some of them are breaking off into, oh, these people are injured and we're the ones helping them. These people are looking for someone else and we're helping them. And that's kind of slowly dissipating. It's all still within the same 100-foot radius. So no one's really out of sight, but it's just kind of splitting off while, the leaders are talking more about the actual leadership.
So then I'm going to speak up because I'm interested in having a guild. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying we had a representative trying to make our guild licensed or whatever it is, but he's not here right now. I'm worried about him.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to establish the Guild of Guiding Light. I don't know if you...
I have heard of it. There were a few issues, I recall, some contention. He kind of looks in between both the guy who's leading Excelsior and Bruno, and then back at you. But nevertheless, we will use your rosters to try and account for any who have been lost. He takes them and he's gonna, just so I can keep track of the current council members. Bogelli, and he starts shouting out a few different names.
Should we write these down?
I'm going to put them in the chat for you. These are the names of the councilmen that were there when they started the day.
Ooh.
Of these, the people who are still there, right? Raja Reyes. I said his name weird. That's how you spell it. That's him. In this, you realize that the person who's leading Excelsior, his name is Callan. You realize that the religious authority person is gone. The construction representative is gone, who is from the Stone Shapers. So the people who are gone are religious.
When you say gone, do you mean kaput or just left?
Just not
missing in some form or another.
Missing. MIA. Okay.
Solicitors. Those are the people who are missing. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 9 of the council members, 3 are missing. So make of that what you will.
Well, here's a thought about safety. How destroyed or undestroyed is the wilds? Are the wilds?
Even if they're entirely undestroyed, it's not like they're going to let us in there. What, you think they're going to let us break down the trees now and build houses, make people safe? That's not what I'm seeing.
Well, we can't stay in the city. We have to get
Well,
to a safe space and then try to look throughout the city for people to save.
we could go out and meet with the people of the wilds, the guardians of the wilds, and talk with them and see if we can camp out with them where they hold on. We've met them. We've spent some time with them. They won't kill you if you don't hurt the wilds.
They
So,
literally just destroyed our city.
no. How do you know that? What makes you think that?
He gestures to the massive tree growing out of the city center.
Well, that tree is there for a reason. That tree is an agreement and a present from both the gods, both your city god and the wilds god.
What city god are you talking? There's a giant tree that's growing through literally the place we were going to reestablish
Bruno.
the city.
Bruno, the louder you speak, the less they hear you. Just saying, buddy.
You're saying that we
that
negotiate.
tree, that is the new spine of the city and the wilds. That is a joint construction. The reason this whole thing fell apart to begin with was somebody hurt the spine in the wilds. Now you have a new spine. So it's time to start to pull together, talk to one another, and live together. So I don't know how else to put it. It can't be simpler than that. Can't we all just get along?
That all sounds very nice, but I don't believe that that's really where we're going to be going anytime soon. The Kellen, the leader of Excelsior, kind of steps up and into the discussion, raises his chin a little bit. None of this would have happened in the first place if we'd had better relationship with the wilds to begin with, right? If we'd had better leadership in regards to how the wilds were being interacted with, then this wouldn't have happened. And what he's saying, what the big meat man over there is saying, is that the way that we live is so far gone from any kind of way that is in... How do I put this? It would be like an act of violence to reform ourselves in accordance with what it is that they're trying to do when they already resent us for what we are and have been. Not saying that that resentment isn't right to be there, but you can't live in a place and call it home when you know that you're resented there. So, the leadership does need to change. The situation needs to get better. And
I'm not saying for you to make it home. I'm saying for the time being. Because we can't stay here.
People aren't going to feel safe with a group of people that just attack them. That's it. Speaking from experience.
But how do we know it was the Guardians?
The wilds didn't attack you. The triumvirate attacked you. And somebody with the worms attacked you. Whether they were working in conjunction, I do not know. But the people of the wilds are not necessarily your enemy. They aren't necessarily the attackers.
Hearing this, a voice from over amongst the civilians you hear. Now that's true. And you see Clarissa, followed by Bellman.
Yes!
Come over.
I was hoping!
Listen, there's a lot of voices. Listen, there's a lot of bad blood between everybody here, but I think there's been enough destruction today that wasn't anticipated from either side. Hold on.
Hold on.
I do understand from talking with this gruffy old man this way.
I'm just over here just like, yes. Love is real.
The Wilds were not alone in their attack plans. It is my understanding as well that the city was fully prepared to make an attack on the Wilds this very day as well. Am I wrong in saying that? And then, Ryza goes kind of stony face and looks to Bruno and the other, like, leaders who are still there.
Got anything to say, fellas?
We don't live here.
And Ryza kind of sighs and puts his head in his hands. I was told that we were trying for expansion in non-populated areas, but I should have known better than to leave it at that. I should have investigated myself. Who was in charge of that program?
St. Elmo's Fire, that's what it was. I remember now.
Gregnut, shh.
Pardon me?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Was it the clockmaker? Because he certainly had a...
Ashoka just looks away, like, awkwardly.
Who paid the clockmaker to make the bombs?
Yeah, and who killed him, too?
Shut!
We pay. Wait, what? We paid. We paid the clockmaker to develop plans for new weaponry should we have to go to war, or if we would have to make a stand back in the war of the going on between Castrain and Zindar before, but we didn't pay him to actualize them. You're saying that man actually built bombs?
Yes, sir, he did.
He was evil, dude.
Good thing I nudge who I think is Pam and say, good thing we killed him as just some person who wasn't Pam. I mean...
Don't say anything.
Ryza does not make comment. Well, Bruno, even if you and I weren't aware of something, someone in our midst had to be paying. Someone from somewhere in the city, because we're all interconnected here. That's the way this works. That's the way the guild system works. Someone... Who are the people that we know that most just want violence, no matter what it brings? Is there anyone in this city left like that?
I mean, what about that guy whose limbs I broke? I feel like he was pretty evil.
I'm
Is
sorry.
he still there?
Who are you referring to?
Ashoka just runs off to go find the guy where his arms and legs he broke.
Okay.
I think there was... we were disappointed with Excelsior, but from what I understand, they don't necessarily always resort to violence. But there's some other characters we ran into from not a banished, but an abolished. What's the word I'm looking for?
Guild?
Guild, yes, thank you. Doxmaeus. They seem to be pretty violent people.
Mm-hmm.
Were they still around?
Hearing this, a bald half-elven man steps up in the blue coat, a little bit muddied after helping people.
Yes, it was rather apparent after. Are you referring to after the dungeons were broken open with the purple worms, or are you speaking of an instance before then? Doxmaeus was disbanded and illegalized long ago. Assassin's guilds are no longer a part of how Portwind operates.
Well,
Yes, that was part of it. We are aware of that. We're aware of the worms in the jail. That's how we knew that it wasn't the lady that you accused, Bruno. So
Listen, there was no other way that somebody else could have gotten something in here. I was the only person I knew who had the context for that situation. All right.
so anyway, do we have any? I think personally, I would not feel bad going out into the wild and speaking to whoever we could find, and not going to take any weapons, not going to engage any military action. Just talk to them and say, could we sit out here, or can we pitch some tents out here for a little while? Our city's in bad shape.
Clarice?
I can't imagine that. I can't speak for the whole of everybody in the wilds, you know that. But I imagine some folks would be willing to take some folks in, but even if everybody had a kind and forgiving heart to the whole of the city, there may not be enough resources to keep everybody fed and looked after. Much not even speaking for whatever tensions there may still be, weapons or no weapons.
What about the Guardians, though?
What about them?
Would they be friendly? Did they have anything to do with any of this?
Yeah, the Triumvirate were working for the Guardians.
Well, that answers questions, Darius.
Yeah, but were they really?
Yes.
The Triumvirate was working at the behest of the Guardians of the Wild.
That was the plan. That was the retaliation because we understood that they were going to be attacking us.
I understand that. But they didn't attack you, did they? Because
We stopped it.
We stopped the bombs, yeah.
With class.
Well, I guess we say who saw your role on then.
I'm sorry?
You stopped the attack on the wilds, but not on the city. I guess that shows whose side you're all on then. This little war
Side? I am on nobody's side. Because nobody is on my side.
Kellen sidesteps away from Gregnut.
Gregnut, I'm on your side.
Mammoth?
He's in the wilds.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Gregnut, go make us friends in the wilds, please. Thank you.
I'll bring my friend beans.
Sure.
Is there any nation in this old world of ours that has a bit of a friendly reputation with good old Portwind, eh? Any place that we could sail to for refuge, even if some of us do want to go to the wilds.
I mean, is there any part of the city that's still intact?
Just look over and
what about the Broken Bottle Inn?
Everybody make perception checks to just kind of be like, what is the extent of the damage in this city?
What about how broken is the underground?
Vincent.
You said everyone make perception checks.
Oh, investigation, Darius. Are you going in Snoop Dogg and Scooby Dooing around?
Yeah. I'm gonna walk around and see what's what, and what's standing, what's falling down.
Maybe everybody that's still standing should actually do that, and we can try to find people on the way.
Okay. With everybody that made perception checks that is in the city, you can see that the vast majority of buildings that are like taller than 1 or 2 stories is, the foundation is crumbling, it's tipped over, it's not reliable to step foot into. Some of the like higher roads and streets, because of how Portland is kind of built up with these multi-level streets and roadways, some of those are cracked and kind of falling in. It looks like that are stable-ish for now, but Any other movement will send them crashing down. Some of the only things that are left still standing are more or less the like super tiny 1-story buildings that aren't built up into anything else, which honestly isn't a lot because that's not how this city grew. When the city couldn't grow out anymore, it grew up. The most stable parts of the city would be those like handful of single level areas. And then part of the dock was still being reconstructed after everything. The boats are out there.
Yeah.
And then the underground, I mean, it is shelter in that it is like a space that has a roof, more or less, but it is also the underground. It's made up of these weird tunnels. It's
The temple!
Mm.
We can revisit the temple.
the temple is one of the few things still standing on the edge of the city. More so because it's like it's nowhere near the Wilds would have attacked because it is their main point of entry and they didn't want to like destroy that. But yeah, so the places you have left: the temple, single-story shops that sell parchment, and the docks. Those are the real like places you have, and the underground if you want a chance of it. Most folks, to have your home ripped away from you in a way that you don't understand, particularly if you're like a kid in a circumstance, to then be like, oh, but we're going to go underground, then it's going to be safe. It's just like it's perhaps necessary, but dejecting. And you feel like, I'll say that with Darius's really high investigation check, not going to be a popular option with a lot of the people of this city.
How about we convene at the temple? It's a fairly large temple.
With a room with many tunnels, yeah.
Yeah, but we stay above ground for now.
Alright, that solves the problem of the immediate housing, but it doesn't solve the larger issues that caused all this.
Well, we take it one step at a time. Okay?
Make a charisma check, Pam.
Our top priority is finding people that need help.
Okay.
And everybody that's still standing, everybody that can walk currently. Okay. I have panthers. I have got 2 panthers that can help us probably sniff down some people, maybe pull people out.
Mm-hmm.
They're gentle panthers. I've known them for maybe a day and a half, but I trust
We have a woolly mammoth that can help lift stuff.
We have a flying carpet.
That totally is going to be how the best use case here.
Shut up.
So, with your 22 charisma, Kellen kind of looks at you and nods and goes,
better than leaving our home behind altogether, I think. Alright, everybody.
And he's going to round up his people, and everything's still very tense because all these different groups are still all these different groups. But you guys can, as a group, begin to lead everybody to kind of be settled in the temple for at least little while, because it is big enough to kind of house or keep these people together. It'll be close living quarters for a little bit, but it's a place that is still standing and thus feels safer than any of these other places. So you guys can sort of kind of begin your trek through the city. We can mechanize the looking for other survivors roles if you would like. Each of you will do this. You can each get 3 roles. There can be investigation, medicine, and survival. So based on what you roll, what you get as like a success will be different. If you roll medicine, you'll be actively helping people. If you do investigation, you'll find either wholesale people or other like parts of the town that are important culturally, or survival will be like, oh, these are materials that I can take from here to later help build things back up. So each of you can get 3 roles. You can choose what of those 3 options you want to use each time as you guys are moving through the city. Make sense?
Yeah. Can I also use my animal handling to try to find my panthers and also Jacques and also the snake?
Oh, sure. Go ahead and roll a quick animal handling check.
I'm just going to whistle a lot. Cool.
Okay. So because your panthers are already right there next to you, you kind of
How long have they been here?
Kasha brought them back in the middle of the battle, remember?
Yeah, she did.
So
she
you
can ride one of them. I trust her.
Yeah, so you send Kasha to go get Jacques and the snake, basically. She's like,
And my friend.
and your friend.
What's her name?
Rowan?
Rowan, yes.
So along with Rowan comes her big cart of Maud's magical goodies, which as soon as
And she's still sleeping.
Yes, she is. She
somehow.
Yeah. There's like water on her face that dripped from the bean water that Gregnut had above ground, but it's all good. But as Kasha comes back up with one of the panthers pulling that card magical stuff, Maud kind of oh my goodness, oh my she like runs over and immediately starts like hold on. She stops and looks at Rowan. I don't remember this piece. When did I investigation medicine. Okay. So you guys are all collecting everything. So Ashoka, you're doing survival, so you're looking for kind of scavengeable things from the debris around you. With a 21, huh?
Oh.
Is I explained that before. Is that not what you wanted?
No, that's just my agree grunt.
Okay.
A grunt.
You're able to pull some of the foundational bricks from what was once the Guild of Guiding Light, and along with it, you're able to grab like things that'll fit together from different areas. Like you find resources from some of the toppled over taller buildings that you think can be repurposed. Some of the stuff from this like building guilds that have fallen apart, like you find literally spackle and nails and hammers, and you're like, okay, realistically to rebuild things you need this, so you kind of bundle up a big bunch of it, drag it. Dad, why'd you do a religion check?
I thought that's what you said one of them was. Investigation, medicine,
Survival.
survival. Okay. Well,
Quick question. Who is doing some investigating to find people?
Darius. Darius has
do you
done
want this
some.
other panther? I trust you with this panther. Do you want it?
sure.
Okay. Pile bodies on top of it and bring them to the temple.
Okay. Darius, you're able to do as such. You're able to find a few familiar faces in doing so. You find Filbert. You find Marwen, who had gone to kind of try to get her hand in helping people today. You find Marwen. You find
Awesome.
Ronnie is okay, but you see that she was like you help her along with your survival check. You help her pick up some of what's left of her shop as well. Because you guys are doing medicine checks along with this, you're healing people as you're finding them. So it goes.
Can I just stay at the temple actually and heal people as they come in?
Yeah, that's fine. So it's not everyone is suddenly okay all the time, but what went from like half the city being lost to now it's like, okay, we have like 2/3 of the people roughly, and a portion of them are not okay but will be okay so long as we continue to take care of them. Has everybody done their Ashoka and Pam, you both have 2 more rolls if you would like. And Pam, you can just keep making more medicine rolls.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see something
Wait.
on the way.
So I get to do 2 other rolls?
You can do medicine, survival, or investigation, depending on what you want to find.
I'm just going to keep doing medicine.
Okay.
Ah!
It's okay. So you're helping Pam back at the temple with some of the people that are coming in. The investigation as well, you're able to find different pieces of the town, like the Broken Bottle Inn. Some of the different like tables are still okay, and you like use some of the Pam's pack panthers to carry over some like practical things there. Some stuff in the first like bed and breakfast inn that you guys stayed at, all that good stuff. You're able to find 2 of the 4 gnomish sisters who helped you guys out in the beginning. Hilga, Helda, those 2. Yeah.
Can I also request that somebody like gets, I can't remember what they were called, but like the roll calls for each of the guilds so we can kind of keep track of people?
Yeah. You check in with Ryza on that, and he's working with the other guild leaders and the um, basically the other representatives that are still on the council because they got cut off in the middle of their whole thing, and they have kind of like lists posted to the door that essentially when people come in they kind of sign in and say yes I'm okay, or like what their status is, and that's how you're getting kind of the count of like, okay, so it went from not knowing where half or more of the city is to we have roughly like 2/3 accounted for, which is pretty good.
Okay.
So can we set up some tents outside of the temple so that we can set up some like water stations and first aid stations?
Yes.
That
A
could
little
be
triage area.
Yeah, I'll say that's part of the survival check that you guys are doing as well. Part of the stuff that you guys have been finding, Ashoka's been getting a decent amount of materials from the different places. So, you, along with the able-bodied folks who are there with you, are working on setting that up outside. And while this is all going on, there's still the underlying tension of like, where do we actually go from here? But this is still just like, okay, we're all people. We're gonna help each other out for now, and then we'll get mad at each other later when everyone has water and sleep. So.
How much
Yeah,
does
can the innkeeping ladies, can they be making like waffles and stuff for people?
Um, they're doing their best. I'll roll. They're learning new cooking techniques. One of them goes better than the other, but it quickly turns into a joke. Yes.
I only have one spell slot for it, but I'll also create food and water.
Okay. That'll help to feed a decent amount of people in here. So, as you guys are getting everybody to behave amicably and kind of finish the cleanup proper, what were those initiative? Oh, right. We got 777s, didn't we, boys?
No!
Am I doing anything or?
Not. Go ahead and make a perception check to see. You have been slowly chipping away at this like grate in front of you. Make a perception check to see if you can tell, because they rolled so poorly on stealth. Even
That's
though it's
because it's +5,
right.
so I think that would be.
So you wouldn't be
What
able
would
to
that
see
be?
them as just you, but with your like infrared mask vision that you've got now, you definitely see like a big chain whipping shape, and past that 2 more shapes, but you still got the gate locked in front of you. So, with this all being said, Ramu, Vorgana, and this chain man have all gone at the same time, and I'm pretty sure he has the fastest dexterity, which is +2, and plus anything is faster than Vorgana, and is faster than Ramu. So, is Vorgana here?
Yes, I am.
Okie doke.
Sorry.
It's alright.
I'm guessing he's going first, like you said?
Yes, and he's going to use his multi-attack, one on you, one on Ramu. So what's your AC for me?
My AC is 14.
14. Okay, so that'll hit. So
No.
Ramu's armor class is 9, so you're better off than him at least.
Oh my god. You're so dead.
Okay. 2d6.
Heal him first.
I don't know if it's better to heal him or just call.
Okay, you take 14 damage, Ramu takes 13.
I hope you have a lot of HP.
And then Ramu has to make a... And Ramu is grappled with the chain that this creature is whipping around. So this guy comes up just kind of whipping the chains all around, and then slashes across you, and then uses his whole other swing to cut across Ramu, wrap him up, and kind of yank him towards him with a... and that's the end of his turn. After his turn it's Ramu who's going to use his whole action to try and break out of the grapple, because that's bad news. Well, actually, he's restrained, and he takes 2d6 piercing at the start of his turn, because he's restrained with a big old chain. So that's another 10 damage.
Who takes 10 more damage?
Ramu takes 10 more damage because he's held in the grapple with this piercing chain. It's almost like it's made of barbed wire. So as he's grappled with it, as he's like pulling and adjusting against it, it hurts him. So he has to make a DC 14 strength save to see. He's got decent strength. He's a strong boy. Come on, Ramu. Haha! He uses his whole action to get out of that grapple. And
nice.
That is Ramu's whole turn. I don't think he has a bonus action, but let me check. Blah, blah, blah. Actions. Bonus action. Nope. He doesn't have anything. Spellcasters. Okay, so Morgana, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm guessing if I cast message, it's my action.
Message is an action to cast, correct.
Damn it, I don't really know what to do right now. There's a couple things I could do, but I don't know the best idea. What is that? What is a 10d8 plus 40?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, we're going to die.
Vincent,
Oh, I guess.
If you can't punch your way out of a situation, what else can you do?
Run. Either run or speak to him.
You can try. I want to see something. Do you? How many? Morgana, how many third level spell slots do you have left?
I have 3 third level, and I've used. I don't know if I've used any of them.
Okay. Never mind. I was thinking of something different. My bad. I was thinking of a bard thing. I thought it was a cleric thing. I'm incorrect.
Yeah.
If you don't see something that you want to do as Morgana, you also have certain other things that you can do.
I think that's the problem. There's so much I can do right now. Any of it is a good idea.
Vincent, you're also vaguely aware that this is going on, and you also have things that you can do. Well, actually, you did that.
Yes. I have other things I can do.
This is true. So.
I have...
Oh, no, wait, go ahead.
I have a potion of growth.
Uh-huh.
Would that... Can I break out of the prison if I was a big boy?
If you were a big boy?
If I was a bigger boy than I already am.
Okay, hold on. When you drink this potion, you gain the enlarge effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 1d4 hours. Enlarge reduce spell. The target size doubles in all dimensions, and its weight is multiplied by 8. This growth increases its size by 1 category, from medium to large, for example. If there isn't enough room for the target to double its size, the creature or object attains the maximum possible size in the space available. Until the spell ends, the target also has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. The target's weapons also grow to match its new size. While these weapons are enlarged, the target's attack with them deal 1d4 extra damage. So, technically speaking, if you used that potion, you would only be able to grow to the size of the
cell.
That you're currently in. But then you would also get advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. And your sword would do an extra d4 damage. So it might be easier for you to get out still.
Okay, how much bigger is the cell than I already am?
You could, it's like if you're standing in an elevator, it's roughly that size. So
so not much bigger necessarily.
I mean, if we're going full flubber enlargement, grow to the size of the thing that you're in.
Yeah, but then I can't move.
Yeah, it's iffy.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're gonna try it?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I don't know any other solutions.
I'll say go ahead and roll initiative for me. We don't necessarily have to do it now because I think that Ashok names Morgana is using his time to consider what he wants to do. So we'll go ahead and do it.
I think I figured out what I want.
Okay, 8.
Yes, I
By 1.
Okay. So Morgana, as you figured out what you want to do, vaguely in the distance you hear like as Vincent, you just like hook out fully, and now your shoulders, it's like your atlas, and the top of this cell is the world that you're carrying on the back of your neck, and your sword is larger, and Olron is squished somewhere near your like right calf against the wall.
Like, sorry, Olron.
Sorry, Olron.
Okay. And as that happens, yes, precisely. And as that happens, Morgana, what are you doing with your turn?
Well, I look at the giant Vincent and I go, yeah, and then I go, oh, thank God. And then I cast Guiding Bolt from a 5th level spell slot.
Ooh! What's this?
Yeah, I'm about to fuck this guy. This guy's day up. This day's guy up.
All right. Go ahead and what do I have to do for that?
So I think I'm just gonna roll it, and then it's in my level spell slot here, but I guess I didn't. I need to be adding these to my actual.
It's okay. Just so long. I just want to make sure I didn't have to roll a saving throw. If you just have to roll a spell attack, go ahead and go for it. Let
me double check here.
Okay.
It looks like. Yeah, it looks like no, I just get to hit it. What's nice about this too is I get to hit it, and then on the next attack roll made against the target before my next turn has advantage.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
guide.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So it's going to regularly be 4d6 radiant damage, but let me add. So it's 1d6 for every slot above first, so I'm going to do 9d6.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll to see if you would hit first.
Oh, yeah. Is this a regular attack roll?
I think it's 1d20 plus 5, because that's your spell attack bonus.
Okay.
Boop, boop, boop. Heck him up. Do the thing. Woo, that just hits. Go ahead and roll your full damage.
Oh, my God. Thank God. Okay. 9. Yeah.
Dang.
7
nice.
Points of damage. Fuck you, 2 ones.
Oh wow, that's a good hit. 27 points of damage. Okay. Do you have any bonus actions you would like to do, or movement you would like to take? Now that you are on this last stretch of land, you're roughly 15 feet from him.
Am I close to Ramu?
Ramu was grappled by him and then got out of the grapple, so you're within 10 feet of Ramu, and he's like, if we were playing on a board, Ramu would be on the square next to him.
Okay, then maybe it's probably just best if I, get my distance away from the demon, then I don't know if that's just my bonus action. So I'd like to run it, or, be like, Ramu, get over here.
That's fine. You can use your full 30 feet of movement to get further away from him. 100%.
Sweet. Yeah, I just wanted to get to, because you said we're still in the water.
No, you're not in the water. You're on the last bit of land.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, I'll just get away from him, but not into any water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that will actually put Vincent has a higher initiative order than the enemy in this instance.
Yes.
You've drank your potion of growth. What would you like to try to do? You now have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
I guess I'll try to just brute force my way out of the cage now. I'm
Okay.
just gonna like stretch out and like kick my legs at the like wall or like the gate.
Okay,
Whatever.
go for that strength check for me.
Okay. Can it be athletics?
Pardon?
Can it be athletics?
Hold on. Let me check what the spell says.
I don't get exactly what athletics means,
Strength
but I know
checks.
that I have
Okay,
a
here's the thing.
very high athletics.
I know. If a thing says strength based, intelligence based checks, then I would have given it to you, but it says specifically strength checks, which I know is
Okay.
but yeah, it's the strength. All right, that'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll. Let's see, what will the damage be? It'll be an 24 extra damage. And also you're kicking with a really massive foot now.
2 really massive feet.
2 really. Okay, I will say it's kind of awkward, but you break through the gate with exactly like the dimensions of your foot. So when you try to draw back, it cuts up your leg a little bit, but the hole is like big
Ow.
enough for the you that you would have been 5 minutes ago to fit through now. But now your leg is kind of caught in it. That is
Ow.
what you're able to do with your turn. However, on your next turn, you can try to do an acrobatics to try and fit through, or you can toss Oleron through. You can figure it out.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or can I use my
What
bonus action to
kind of-
just tell Oleron to try to go through right now?
You can, but your leg is like caught in it, is what.
Okay.
But you can definitely like prep him and say like, "Oh, when my leg moves, you should get out of here."
Okay. I do so.
Okay, perfect.
So what's Olron's initiative? What did he roll?
Oleron did not roll initiative.
Olron, roll initiative.
This is a formality. Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice, Oleron.
Even though that is his initiative, his face looks sallow.
Aw.
He's not in the best place. Okay. So after Vincent's turn, it is bad guys.
No.
That's wild. Okay. So for this turn, this devil creature stands back from you guys, just kind of hisses, and then from off its back, it has the 2 chains that it holds in his hands, and then from off of its back, like unwrapping from around his neck to the point where his like head almost seems unstable, like it was keeping him in place. 4 chains animate from off of him like Doc Ock's
Whoa.
legs on his back.
What in the hell is?
With razor-edged barbs all along the edges that seem like they have they're almost like Medusa's hair, like Doc Ock's arms in the back.
Oh, God,
Flicked
this is
away.
metal. Where's Nick?
However, animating the chains is going to take up his whole action, so he's going to just hold his ground after that. And
I feel like I'm playing Doom.
and after his turn, it is Ramu's turn.
Woo!
So let's see what our boy.
Come on, Ramu.
Okay. Short rest.
What's he got?
He already did his very fancy special. I forgot he did that. He already used his breath weapon, his brass dragonborn breath weapon. Did he use that? Does he want to do that? Let's see.
Is there any skin on this guy?
Yes, it's like inflamed and red and awful.
Oh, he should turn the stone to flesh to stone.
I mean, that's what he's considering doing right now. So, once per long rest, he's had a long rest. He was a long time ago that Excelsior guy did it. So, he's going to cast flesh to stone on this guy. And that dude has to make a Constitution saving throw. Ramu's spell save DC is 17. This dude's con modifier is +4. Let's see what shakes out. He fails to save. Okay. Yes. On a failed save, it is restrained as its flesh begins to harden. On a successful save, the creature isn't affected. The creature restrained by the spell must make another Constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns. If it successfully saves against the spell 3 times, the spell ends. If it fails to save 3 times, it is turned to stone and subjected to the petrified condition for the duration.
Oops, yeah.
The successes and failures don't need to be consecutive. Keep track of both until the target collects 3 of a kind. If the creature is physically broken while petrified, it suffers from the similar deformities if it reverts back to its original state. If you maintain your concentration on the spell for the entire possible duration, which is 1 minute, the creature is turned to stone until the effect is removed. So far this guy is currently restrained, so he can't move any closer to you guys. And that's the end of Ramu's turn, and that means it is Morgana's turn. What would you like to do?
All right.
If you want a guiding bolt again, you gave yourself advantage with that.
Oh yeah, I should probably do that then. I have one more level 5 slot. Or actually, I'll do it level because I have 3 of those.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Hopefully, I hit him. We shall find out. 1d.
Well, he's probably a pretty easy hard target to hit now.
I hope so.
Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Go ahead and roll again with advantage just in case you get a natural 20.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
But you do hit. Go ahead and roll for your damage.
All right. 8d6. 8d6. Boom.
Wow,
27
another 27.
Again.
Nice.
Lucky number.
The dude is starting to look a little bit hurt and looks like he's trying to wiggle out of the stone, but he cannot. After the chain, after Vorgana's turn, it's back up to the top of the order, which now includes Olron. Olron is going to hold his action until Vincent's leg is moved from out of the grating. Vincent, it's your turn.
Oh wait, could I say something cool when I'm hitting him with my guiding light? Okay,
absolutely.
I'm gonna be like, "Hell meet heaven."
That's great.
Oh my
god.
Okay.
Love it.
Especially because he's petrified partially into stone. It's great. He can't get away. Okay.
Yeah.
Olron is holding his turn until Vincent can move his leg. Vincent, it's your go.
Okay.
Go ahead and make either an acrobatics or dexterity check to get your leg out of there for him. Just like a...
Acrobatics. Well, they're exactly the same, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I did not mean to do damage, but...
Okay, you're able to get your leg out of there. It does do a little bit of slashing damage to you, because ow.
Okay.
But the hole is big enough for Olron to clamber through, which he does. Where's my Olron? Where's my boy? Where's my man? There he is. Dexterity. But it's disadvantage because exhaustion. Oh! He climbs... It's a disadvantage with the natural one.
Oh, no.
So he climbs through, but he gets the same damage that you do.
Oh.
He's not looking so hot, but he's collapsed on the ground outside of the thing. What do you want to do with the rest of your turn? It wasn't your full action to get your leg out. It was just a little thing.
I attempt to crawl out.
Okay. Make...
Wait. First, if I crawl out and cannot crawl out, can I attempt to still shoot the thing with my crossbow?
Technically, this could be your movement. If you're okay with being half caught like that, I would still allow you to use your action. But if you want to use your full action to like free yourself entirely from this cell, I think that would be the whole thing. So it's up to you.
I'll just try to use my full action to get myself out.
Okay, go ahead and make like a dexterity or strength check with advantage to either like wriggle your way out of the hole you've made or to just burst the door all the way open the rest of the way.
Brute force.
King Kong it. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. So you take hold of the part that you had already ripped open. You just kind of pull it apart the rest of the way, and then dip out. Stand up with blood on your leg and on your hands, but you're out, buddy.
Nice.
And then, now that you are out, not like 50 feet away from you, on a slightly raised platform, you can see that the way that you perceived it earlier, how the world kind of went flat and then went up, you see that this creature that your buddies are fighting, are standing near the edge of that platform. So, you're roughly 50 feet away, you and Olron both. Olron's not looking too hot, but there you go.
Do I still have movement?
Since you use your action to do that, yes, you do have movement.
Can I pick up Olron as, I don't know.
Yeah, you could have picked up Olron anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick up Olron and then I'm going to run at them.
Okay.
And try to get into the chain monster and my friends.
Okay. You're able to get 40 feet closer, but you're still 10 feet away, but it definitely hears like of big boy Vincent toting Grandpa Olron all the way there. So it hears more of its impending doom when it literally can't move. With that in mind, it is now its turn. It does have its different little whips out. So now that he has those out, he gets to make even more attacks. So he's
great.
going to 4 and then
Wait a minute. How does the whip work if he can't move?
He's restrained. So let me check. I will read out the restrained condition to you. A restrained creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So, it still gets to attack, but it's at disadvantage, is how it works. So. So it has 4 chains animated on its back, 2 in its hands. So it's going to make 3 attacks towards each of the... Actually, he's going to start with Ramu, because Ramu got out of his thing, and he doesn't like that. What's that?
Ramu, no.
Plus 8, but it's a disadvantage. Ramu's armor class is 9, though. Disadvantage.
Oh my god.
Okay, so 1
Literally,
hits.
the only way for it to miss would have been if it rolled a 1.
Yeah. Okay, so let's... I'm going to roll the damage on that. 2d6 plus 4. That's 14. Okay, Ramu goes down.
No.
Ramu is unconscious on the ground after the first 2 attacks. Or, that's actually... That was just the first attack because it was disadvantage. Okay, so there's 5 more attacks. Oh, great.
Jeez. Bring it on.
So, does 10 hit Vorgana? Okay. Does 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So 1, 2. Does 11 hit?
No, 11 does not hit.
Does 18 hit? It does. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
So that's 1, 2, 3. Does 10 hit? Nope. 4.
No.
And 11 does not hit. So you only take damage for 2 of the attacks. Oh, this disadvantage of him being restrained is helping you a ton. So, 2d6 6 plus 4. Twice. 9. So you take 20 damage total.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Not fully dead. Almost there. But...
That's the end of his turn. He has to make another con save at the end of his turn. What is his constitution? It's plus 4.
You almost said it. You almost knew.
So that's another fail. If he gets one more fail, he's turned to stone.
Oh, snap.
Uh-huh. Oh, wait.
Alright.
No. If Ramu is down...
Oh, he's not
Ramu
concentrating
is
on it.
down. He's not concentrating.
No.
The effect goes away. Yep.
But
Heal him quick.
I don't know if I heal him. I don't think the spell's...
Okay. And then, alright, that's the end of the chain guy's turn. It's Ramu's turn. He's going to make a death saving throw.
Come on, man.
He makes
Nice.
it. And then, Vorgana, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I don't know. Should I guiding bolt him again? Or should I pull out Doomhaven?
It's up to you. You get advantage either way, my guy.
I swear. I hope I'm able to take him down. Sacred Flame's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should Sacred Flame him. Reread the rule.
Pardon?
And it's a cantrip.
I'm sorry, pardon?
Sacred Flame.
Were you asking
Which
me
would
to
be...
read something?
No, I'm just reading it myself. Really.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, okay. But his dex might be pretty good. Shoot. I'm just gonna go for it. He has to succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. What's the DC?
What's my what would my DC be?
It's on your spell page. I think it's at least like 15. He gets a 13, which I'm pretty sure means he doesn't make it.
My spell save was 13.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Then he makes it. Does he still take half damage?
Why didn't I say 14? Not kidding. The target gains no benefit from cover for the saving throw. It doesn't say anything about getting half damage.
No, because it's just a cantrip.
Should have healed myself. Can I run away from?
You can use your.
Yeah,
You're not
bonus
in his
action.
melee range. Or
Okay.
actually, hold on. Let me see something because his chains extend his
I
melee.
need to
range.
get away from his chains. So I'm about to go down.
Heal Ramu.
Or heal yourself.
Yeah, I'm. It's either I should have probably healed one, but now I've turned to attack.
You still
I
have
can't
your
do
bonus
anything.
action, which you can do Healing Word even as you're running away. Also, as a
Ooh,
reaction,
nice.
he gets to use his reaction ability. And as you kind of look at his face as you run away, you can see in his face flickers for a moment, and you can see Ramu, who is just alive, look terrified. And then you can see it flicker into the face that you saw at the anvil. And then it looks like your father, and then it flicks back to
what
his
the
face.
hell?
But
Oh my god.
you do get your full 30 feet away from him.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, and I used healing word.
If you want to.
I do.
Okay. At
I
what
just
level?
I'm going to choose. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm gonna do 4th level.
4th level?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll that heal for me, if you please.
Okay, 1d4 plus your spellcasting. And then I'm trying to figure out how much I add. Okay, 1d4 for each slot for 4d4 plus 5.
Nice. Go ahead and roll that. See how much you heal your old buddy Ramu.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I am in Twitch chat trying to roll.
Oh no.
Shows you that I'm just a little bit tired.
A little
14
bit.
points of damage.
Alright, so you heal Ramu. You see him kind of start to push up back to his feet. And at that, as being the final act of your turn, it gets back up to Olron's turn. Olron, who's currently, like, riding on the shoulder of Vincent. What can he do?
Doesn't he use a bow?
Yeah, but he was in a jail cell and didn't have one.
Oh.
People typically don't let you have weapons. But he...
I had weapons in the jail cell.
But you teleported into a jail cell.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, so did he.
Chance have a bow that I could borrow?
I have a giant crossbow.
I'll give it a shot.
I hand him my giant crossbow.
He's gonna make a strength check at disadvantage. He's not a strong man.
Please, Olron, I believe in you.
Just get... Nope. He, like, starts to drop it immediately and you just take it from him. He curses under his breath and he's going to cast... What's he gonna cast? He's going to cast Cure Wounds on you.
Thank you, Olron. Thank you, Olron.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he cure himself?
Because he can't do anything right now, and he's riding on the shoulder of a literal giant who's gonna help him. Is why. So take 15 heal.
Nice.
Courtesy of Olron.
Nice.
And that's the end of his turn. And then Vincent, it's your turn. You're 10 feet away.
All right. What are the stats for that poison sword that I got?
Oh boy. Boy, I don't remember. Let me check. Poison Assassin 5e. No, it was... Oh, phooey. Is there a particular reason that you want to use the poison sword just because you think it's cool?
Because it might potentially do more damage.
I see.
If it does poison damage.
I will tell you, it will not.
Okay. Well, I'll just use my normal sword.
Okay.
And this is something I've never done before, but I'm going to use it with two hands so that I get 1d10 of damage.
Nice. Okay, go for it. Make your attacks.
All right. Yes. Nice.
Oh boy. How about... Yeah. All those hit. Go ahead and roll damage for the natural 20 first to see if he's alive after that.
Doesn't it get double damage for that?
Double dice damage, yes. So 12 plus 5 is 17. And then go ahead and roll damage for the other two. And then another 8. And another 9. He's getting close. Do you have a bonus action you would like to do, or is that?
Oh wait.
What?
I'm giant, so everything has +4 to damage, right?
You get a plus a d4. So roll 1d4 for each of these, and the first d4 gets doubled. You're correct.
Well.
That's all right. It still helps.
Still 2.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Three.
What are the
Are you
chances?
kidding me?
He's looking real close. Do you have a bonus action or anything else that you'd like to do? That's funny.
Maybe to you. I don't think I can do anything with my bonus action. I just stand in between everyone else and the monster with my movement so that
Okay.
he
You human
attacks
shield it.
me or is more likely to attack me. Yeah.
Okay.
What are the chances that I roll in the 3-1?
I don't know. But it is now his turn.
Please, man. Oh wait.
All right. What?
For any face.
Yeah.
Technically, it was 2 + 1 + 1.
Oh, so you know what? I'm gonna roll. Actually, what I'm gonna roll is an intelligence check for this thing. It's not smart. This creature is actually gonna try to run away. So you can have an attack of opportunity.
Sure, I'll take it.
Get him. I will smash him with my hammer.
Are you
Natural
serious?
1 automatically misses.
No.
Morgana, you super moved out of his range, as did Ramu.
No, Ramu's chilling, but I don't know if he stood up.
Is Ramu still near him?
I think so, yeah.
I just rolled 4 ones in a
That's
Why?
true. So Ramu,
That's
I think,
rough.
is still
just
near him,
realized that.
but all that Ramu can do is literally just punch him. But Ramu's good at punching, so we'll see
Yes, Ramu.
how this goes. Ramu's base damage for a hand-to-hand combat, if you're not that, you have a base damage of 1 plus your strength modifier. Ramu's is really high. So, yeah.
Dang.
The chain devil starts to run away. Ramu leans back and clocks him, and he falls on his face in the dirt.
Yeah, I'm about to destroy this guy.
Wow.
Falls in the dirt dead.
Let's make like a tree and leave.
He's already dead.
Ramu's One Punch Man.
Make like a tree.
Confirmed.
You know, I will never trash talk those strength potions again. I see exactly why. Oh, that's why things went bad for me down here. Oh, okay. I'm gonna feel this tomorrow.
Okay, Morgana, get
Let's
us out of here, please.
You're very large. Hello there, Ulron. Apologies. It's alright. I don't recall your name. It happens. Some people forget I'm a Dragonborn when they've been traveling with me for years.
Hey, I didn't have my goggles on.
Morgana, if you would.
Can I take?
Alright, I cast.
Can I take one of the chains?
Take one of the what?
Go
chains
ahead.
from the thing.
Sure. Roll a quick investigation check to loot the Boati.
Come on.
Loot the Boat.
Can someone else get one for me?
Ramu, seeing your intent and realizing that your fingers are currently too big to grasp anything, will be a homie
Thank you, Ramu.
and grab you a couple of the chains.
Can I grab one too?
Yeah, roll a quick investigation check. Just get
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
I give one to Vincent, and I'm like, thank you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you for getting huge and saving me.
You're welcome.
Okay, and Morgana pulling out your tuning fork to cast the plane shift spell.
I'm ready.
I pick everyone up in my arms like little baby birds.
Correct. Very good. Are you taking yourselves all back to City Center, Vorgana, I assume?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
going there. Let's get out of this hellhole. Literally.
You flick the tuning fork, and in a poof, you guys appear back in City Center after the last dregs of sunset have left the sky.
Whoa.
All back safe for now on the same plane.
Yay.
Within a few minutes, you guys will be able to rejoin each other up at the temple. Vincent's still a big boy, and I believe that is where we're going to have to end tonight's session.
Nice.
That was an awesome
We're all
session.
safe and sound, finally.
Finally.
Success.
Ah.
All right.
Welcome back, buddies. Woo! All
You
Ron,
go.
how you doing, buddy? Somebody give him
He
some
just falls over.
healing.
Yeah.
I got some celebration music.
What?
We need to celebrate longer than that.
Some rights reserved under the Creative Commons license.
We have to parody it for it to be under the Creative Commons. And
What?
returning also, we remember that it is after the night falls here that a certain curse will remake itself now that someone isn't in the Nine Hells and having super fun Nine Hells. Anyway,
Oh God.
you remember consequences for your actions? Those still exist.
Oh no.
I am part of the Nine Hells now, so.
You are 100. Okay. I hope that you guys all had fun.
Yeet.
What? I thought
I
you
said
said
yeet.
wait. I see.
Yeet.
Yeet.
All right, guys. I love you all very
So
much.
should-
I hope you all had
should-
fun.
Should Vincent take his mask off before we go back over to the...
Not when I'm giant and standing in City Center. Might be a bad idea.
Helen, I knew you were real. Why are you so big?
Aw.
Stay in school, kids. I run away into the woods.
Okay, guys.
All right, are we signing off?
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Does everybody? Wow. Who am I? I am tired. I almost forgot. Do you guys want to do your very special sign off?
Yes.
Let's do it.
No. I
All
mean,
right.
yes.
All right. Anybody else want to count it down, or y'all want me to do it?
You can do it.
5, 4, 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
We...
Oh, honey.
Oh God.
Oh. Good night, everybody. We love you
Good night,
all.
guys. Next time. Love you.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
See ya.